It's time for the new wave. Time for a new era. It's time to make your moment.
Hello and welcome to Planet Ice here in Manchester. We're bringing Ultimate Boxer back north. This crowd already raring to go ahead of what promises to be another night of thrilling action. This is Boxing for the Modern Day, another instalment of non-stop, fast-paced, aggressive bouts as 8 of the UK's top fighters go head-to-head to find out who is the king of the cruiserweights. 3 rounds, 3 minutes, 3 fights. That is all that stands in the way of these guys and getting their hands on that life-changing £50,000 prize money. This is Ultimate Boxer 4, and it's been quite a journey so far.
What would you do if you had my life? Would you go hard just to have that ice? Nowadays, dudes never had that fight. When the person's looking about to add that spice.
Take the back up.
Raising the belly of the beast. I'm ready to go. Raising the belly of the beast. Raising the belly of the beast. I'm ready to go. Raising the belly of the beast. Raising the belly of the beast. I'm ready to go. Raising the belly of the beast. I'm ready to go. That's all go. Raising the belly of the beast. Raising the belly of the beast. I'm ready to go. That's all go.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here in Altrincham, Greater Manchester tonight. And for those new to the format, have a look at this. It's as simple as this, a fast and furious knockout tournament in which 8 professional fighters will battle it out to be crowned the Ultimate Boxer. There can only be one winner. We have the quarters, the semis, and that all-important showpiece final coming your way live this evening. And joining me ringside here in Manchester, the former lightweight world champion, Manchester born and bred. This is the closest I've stood to a Manchester United fan, Mr. Anthony Crolla. And of course, to get the view from the trainer's corner, because we're Dave Caldwell about, half a metre away from the red corner. Dave Caldwell, he's worked with the likes of Tony Bellew and, of course, now working with the likes of Derek Chisora. Great to have you guys with us here. And we were out last time, weren't we, in London? Dave, I know you've had your eye on it, but Ultimate Boxer as a format, as a platform, what have you made of it?
I love the format. You know, I've worked a couple of shows now, and I find them exciting. I find them three rounds of mayhem, 3 fights of 3 rounds of mayhem, and that's what we want. We're trying to uncover a future star that can go on and progress to the major titles.
And the main thing, Ant, is we haven't had a bad fight since going back to Ultimate Boxer 1. We're not putting this on for you guys and dressing it up. We simply haven't.
No, genuinely, I think the tournaments as well have got better as they've gone on. The middleweight one last time out was unreal, and I think if we get a tournament half as good and as exciting as what the last one was, we're in for a good night.
Yeah, if you were to put your money where your mouth is, I know a lot of people are having bets tonight. Dave, who would you be putting your money on?
Well, I've had Mikael Lawal in my gym sparring with Tony Bellew for Bellew's fights in the past, so I know quite a bit about him. I see what he's capable of, and the kid is talented. He's very talented. So if I've got to put my money on somebody, it's going to be on Mikael.
And you know, you mentioned it there, but this whole thing is about unearthing a future star, and the guys at Ultimate Boxer want to unearth a future world champion. Is that realistic, Dave?
Yeah, it is. I mean, listen, there's a lot of fighters out there that are away from the big promoters that just aren't getting, the push and aren't getting the opportunities. And this is a tournament that can unearth somebody like that. And, we have seen Shakan Peters, we've seen as one kid that's an outstanding talent. And then it's how they progress after this tournament. But this is their shop window.
Great to have you guys with us. They're with us all night. And someone else who dresses as sharp as $1 Million Crolla is Mr. Steve Bunce. Where are you, Buncey?
I'm backstage where I always am. Changing rooms on my right, a board over here where I'm going to be conducting some interviews, surrounded by 8 boxers. And you know what? You can sense the fear. You can smell the fear. You can smell and sense the excitement. There's some clear favourites, as Dave was talking about there. There's some clear underdogs. But it's Ultimate Boxer. Anything can happen. Anything can happen during these fights. As the night wears on, in 3.5 hours' time, it's unlikely that what will unfold is what we expect. And don't forget one big thing, real thing. This is life-changing money for these kids. The winner of this tonight will make at least 15 times more than he's ever made. What's not to like?
Bunty, great stuff. Great to have Steve Bunce with us here at Ultimate Boxer 4. Just very quickly, guys, on the tactics that is going to be used tonight. Dave, your view on this, because how does this play out? Do you go in all guns blazing? Do you try and conserve some energy? Do you get into a war early on?
Well, we were speaking about this with Bunty earlier on in the week. It's very hard to prepare for. Now, you can do all you want in the training, but it's how you're gonna fit into this format on the night.
It's how the fight goes.
It's how the fight goes, because you could have the favourite have a tough fight in the first fight that zaps a lot of energy. Then you go backstage, you've got to bring yourself down but keep yourself warmed up. It's very hard to prepare for, and this is what makes it. You know, every time you think about a favourite, a lot of times favourites don't win things like this, because you just cannot predict how they're going to react, how they're going to feel in that third fight. That's the kicker.
Yeah. From tactics right down to staying hydrated in the back, taking a bit of nutrition, taking the right nutrition on as well. And Dave, for me, like you said, that's why you can never judge it till on the night, because your first fight is so important, isn't it? If someone gets a stoppage early, it can help them out big time later on in the night.
Not just one former world champion with us here tonight. Layla is with another in Paulie Malignaggi. Layla, a guru of Ultimate Boxer.
Yes, I am. Paulie's been to every Ultimate Boxer so far. We're going into Ultimate Boxer 4 now. Since you've been to all of them, and since they've been discussing tactics, I'd love to ask you, do you think there's a formula for this, a style of fighter, a way that will, secure a win?
You want to try not to take too much damage, but at the same time, you also have to make sure you're doing enough work to have success and advance to the next round. So sometimes that can be a catch-22, because you try to do enough work to advance and win the fight, but sometimes that puts you in the line of fire to take some damage yourself. So I wouldn't say there's one specific tactic, but obviously, because you want to say play safety first. Playing your safety first can get you sent home. But then again, you don't play safety first, and you may advance, but you may not have enough energy left for the next round. So you got to have a balance. You're not quite sure what the balance is. Every fighter will know it, but once they're in there, they'll feel it.
Having spoken to past fighters, every single one has a different reason as to why they won and a different way of training for this. How much of this will be a mental game tonight?
It's very mental, because you go through ups and downs. You get up for a fight, then you got to go back to the locker room if you advance and you cool down. Your mind kind of starts to relax. Then you've got to bring your mind back up for another fight. Then you got to bring it back down, because you don't want to stay up between fights. Otherwise, you're not going to properly rest. You want to be able to cool down and get your proper rest. But then again, if you don't know how to get your mind back up for the next fight, you're going to find yourself in here and feel out of place. So the mental game is very, very important in all fights, but in this type of thing especially.
Thank you, Paulie. Well, our fighters are almost ready. I'll head straight back to you, Will.
Layla, Paulie, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, that first quarter-final nearly upon us here in Manchester. It is time to see the undefeated Londoner, Mikael Lawal, up against Anthony the Bull Woolery.
My mindset going into every fight is just to come out on top, do what I need to do, give it my best, and come out safe. The reason why I'm coming into this competition is because I believe I want to come out on top. So I think it's going to do a lot for my career, and I think I want to win.
Winning this would literally leapfrog me to the, to the front of, the big contenders in the cruiserweight division in Britain right now. So some of the guys that are in here are top prospects. I'll win this, and that phone rings, and I'll be ready to go again whenever that may be.
Here we go then, and they are ready to start their fight for the golden robe right now. Over to the action, your commentary team, Paulie Malignaggi alongside Ronald McIntosh. But first, your MC, Lance Murdoch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ultimate Boxer 4, live from Manchester on BT Sport. Tonight is brought to you by Benjamin Shalom for Ultimate Boxer, in association with Mansion Bets, sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Tonight's area representatives are Les Potts and Robin Smith. Your chief inspector is Mohammed Asif Ter. Our referees and judges are Steve Gray, John Latham, Mark Lyson and Darren Sargentson, and your timekeepers at the bell are Chris O'Connor and Phil Morris. Without any further ado, let's get down to business. The first of our quarterfinals is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division. Introducing first, in the red corner, wearing the red shorts, weighing in at 14 stones, 2 pounds and 8 ounces, with a record of 1 win and 1 loss, representing Wolverhampton, Anthony Woolery. Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner wearing the grey shorts, weighing in at 13 stones, 12 pounds and 6 ounces. He has an undefeated record of 9 fights and 9 wins, 6 by way of knockout. Representing Shepherd's Bush, London, Mikael Lawal.
Everybody asks me where have I been. Bigger and horses back in my team. Fuck around cause I'm back in my team. Fuck around cause I'm back in my team. My focus is to get dough, get money. If you're over me, that please don't come from me. See me in the streets when I ain't.
Well, here comes the man who has been installed as the tournament favourite by the bookmakers tonight. Mikael Lawal out of Shepherd's Bush, 24 years of age, undefeated in 9 starts in his professional career so far. Man out of Shepherd's Bush in West London, representing Stonebridge Boxing Club in Northwest London, in confident mood ahead of this, the first quarter-final of Ultimate Boxer 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge of the action is Mr. Steve Gray. Introducing first, in the red corner, wearing the red shorts, weighing in at 14 stones, 2 pounds and 8 ounces, with a record of 1 win and 1 loss, representing Wolverhampton, Anthony Woolery. Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner, wearing the grey shorts, weighing in at 13 stones, 12 pounds and 6 ounces. He has an undefeated record of 9 fights and 9 wins, 6 by way of knockout. Representing Shepherd's Bush, London, Mikael Lawal.
Okay, boys, if a cold break, take 1 step back. No punches on the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Well, as referee Steve Gray issues the final instructions, you can see the difference in height, the difference in stature between these two men. The tactics fairly obvious. The man nicknamed the Bull, Anthony Woolery from Wolverhampton, will be attempting to get inside the longer reach of the rangy Mikael Lawal. We're underway. The first quarter-final of Ultimate Boxer 4, the cruiserweight division, and immediately as Lawal in the grey trunks, trying to get onto the front foot. And there is the Bull living up to his nickname, getting his head on the man's chest and trying to make life uncomfortable for the tournament favourites on the ropes.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all about starting fast. And Artillery, he may not have all the skill set that Lawal has, but in a short burst of a fight, if he can push the action enough, he may be able to put Tillery on the back foot. He may be able to put Lawal enough on the back foot. Or Woolery, not Tillery.
Oh, that's a good right hand from Lawal, and Woolery is keen to initiate a clinch and hold on. So an explosive start between the two. Lawal looking to establish that long left jab, which is a really good punch of his.
And of course, in establishing that long left jab, he'll be able to establish a long right hand, which will do the damage. And there it is.
Right hand landing around the rear of the ear, and Anthony Woolery sent to the canvas inside the opening minute.
You don't really want to afford 10 rounds in the short fight. He's got to make that up.
Well, Lawal making his way back onto the logo, slips an attempted left hook from Woolery. Woolery in just his 3rd professional fight tonight, and it's been a stop-start career so far. Left hook was blocked by the gloves of Woolery, but it's still forceful enough to knock the man off balance. So Woolery in the midst of a difficult start as we approach the midpoint of this opening round. That's a good left hand from the shorter man.
Yeah, good short left hook by Woolery in there. But of course, Lawal didn't react to it, which doesn't bode well. But credit to Woolery. He's not breaking his mental focus. You know, he's trying to stay in the chest of Lawal. He's trying to get that point back. Because now having lost a 10-8 round, if this round ends this way, he'll have some ground to make up.
Counter right hand from Woolery and then a left hand as well, and that spurs Lawal into action. He's letting go with heavy-handed clusters. And once again, Woolery keen to get inside the taller man's longer reach and let go with hooks and uppercuts. But his short arm punches were going long and straying behind the head of the Nigerian boxer out of Shepherd's Bush. Lancing right hand landed from Lawal. Blocked the right hand from Woolery nicely with his left hand. Mentioned the fact that it's been a stop-start career for Woolery. His last fight was in June of last year, so out of the ring for some 13 months after making his debut in November of 2017. Lost his debut, came back with a win, but has been inactive since that time.
And of course, this is a big step up in talent level as well for Woolery, you know, as Lawal being undefeated. Woolery's yet to fight a fighter with a winning record.
Counter right uppercut from Lawal was in response to the right cross fired by Woolery, but Woolery getting Lawal to the ropes and working well to the body.
I tell you, if not for the knockdown, I tell you, Woolery hasn't had himself a terrible round.
Chopping right hand landed around the rear of the ear again from Lawal. And an action-packed opening round. Mikael Lawal scoring a knockdown, which gives him this opening round by a 10-8 margin.
Uppercut. Relax, you're doing well. Look, only he can bully you, yes? Breathe. In out. Now look, when he's stepping in, left jab, uppercut, right.
So here's some of the action from the opening round.
And we see some of that action. You see the long right hand of Lawal. See, Lawal wants to set up that jab. Wants to use that jab to set up the distance so he can get enough leverage on the big right hand. And that time he was able to do it right there with the knockdown after setting him up with the left. Woolery, though, had his own little moments on the inside. It's Lawal with some more flurries out there as well. Nothing lands here clean as Woolery does a smart thing, and he gets in the chest of Lawal and smothers the action. He smothers his punches.
Into the second round then, after a busy opener. And immediately Woolery coming out, trying to land a long right hand to the body. He's hurt. Unsteadied. Right hand catches him around the top of the head, and his legs did an involuntary funny little dance. Will Lawal seized on that. He's looking to work behind a long left hand once again. Right hand lands, then a left. And a shootout perhaps. Well, maybe it's Woolery's best strategy, and he's looking to...
Yeah, Woolery wanted a street fight.
So nothing wrong with the man's fighting spirit or his heart. When I spoke with him in the week, he said he had no fears about drawing the tournament favourite. He said by being at this stage, given where he's come from as a boxer, he's already won, but he's put on the end of another long right hand again. Leans back and tries to land a counter right hand of his own.
He somehow kind of rocks with these punches, so even if they land, they're not doing crazy damage to him. But he's going to have to start doing some consistent work as Lawal's off to a good start in the second round.
Oh, good right hand landed by Woolery.
Woolery gets in the work, but unfortunately for him, being down 10-8 after the first round, he's got a lot of ground to make up.
So perhaps the most respite we've had in this bout so far, and that's broken with a arcing right hand landed by Woolery. Lawal, a full-time boxer, who takes another right hand behind his left hand, so good shot landed by Woolery.
And Lawal not meeting Woolery with enough punches, in my opinion. You know, he's got to meet. He can't let Woolery just walk in the front door like that. Lawal has that height. Has a good jab and a good right hand. Woolery should not be able to get inside without at least paying the toll. You know, without at least having to go through a jab or a right hand first. You know, a lot of times Woolery's able to kind of walk in uncontested. There he is again.
Shot straying low. Lawal, no complaints. The man in the grey shorts. Mention the fact that Lawal's a full-time pro. He fires a right uppercut, which wasn't too far away.
Yeah, it kind of grazed him, and those could be kind of painful punches. It could graze Lawal, but again, why is Woolery even able to get off that kind of shot, in my opinion, against a guy with the frame and the skill set of Lawal? It's something Lawal has to be careful with, and really has to be careful with over the course of this tournament in general.
As again, round is going on. He's growing in confidence, is Woolery, because he's looking to stay in the pocket and fire away with bent arm shots. Here's another attempted right uppercut, coming one from the left flank and then a right hook around the corner. Lawal content to lay on the ropes and not really letting his hands go.
And Woolery doing a good job of smothering it. Oh, good body shot of me. Woolery doing a good job of smothering any of the work Lawal wants to do here by being against the ropes.
Well, Lawal's lack of activity with his hands has allowed Woolery back into the closing stages of this second round. And again, he's the busier boxer in the closing stages. Action-packed second session in this first quarter-final. Errol Johnson encouraging his man as he makes his way back to the red corner. Let's listen in.
Good. It's fun. All you do, don't pull back. Yeah. Got me and get caught with the right hand. Deep press. Suck it in.
Oh, it's a good right hand there. They went to trade right hands there, actually. And Woolery was closer, so he's got there first. There it is again. Look, oh, actually, Lawal did land part of his right hand as well, but it was kind of smothered as it was too close. And there again, Wow was a big uppercut by Lawal. Would just miss by Woolery. Would just miss Lawal's face, but it kind of grazed him.
Don't to single right. Double it. Double it. 1, 2, move on the side. Move on the side. You will stop him if you keep your lane. You understand? You're going to win this fight. 3 minutes now.
Sultan Abdul Mohammed from Kazakhstan, the man in the cap, giving the instructions inside the ropes into the third and final round of what has been a competitive first quarter final. Mikael Lawal, the tournament favorite, nicknamed Lethal, scored a knockdown in the opening round. Big right hands were traded in the second round, whereas Lawal appeared to have more of an effect on Woolery.
I'll tell you, when Woolery is inside, Lawal has a lot of trouble being effective.
Lawal trying a left hook, but it was long.
This fight really gets decided at range. At range, Lawal, at a long range, Lawal has an advantage. At a close range, it's Woolery doing all the good work.
Woolery has a full-time job outside of the sport of boxing. Good right uppercut landed on the inside by Lawal. Oh, that's a good right uppercut in response from Woolery. Then tries a left hook and the right hand got through, and Lawal looking uncomfortable on the ropes. He's content to lay back. He's not really letting his hands go. And Woolery is getting encouragement
good
from
right hand by Woolery there on the way in. Again, he's just being able to freely walk in too much. I'll tell you, this fight would be much closer if Woolery had not suffered that first round knockdown. He might actually have a chance to win it. Instead, it's going to be up in the air. Oh, good right hand by Lawal.
Terrific right hand, stiffens the legs of Woolery, but he bites down on his gum shield and comes back with a flurry of his own.
Yeah, didn't stiffen them enough because he obviously was all right after taking it.
Good right hand on the inside landed by Lawal. The two boxers leaning on at close range. Steve Gray allowing them to work away. Woolery, who works as a plumber, runs his own plumbing business away from the sport of boxing. Oh, we put everything behind that right hand, which missed, and he almost walked onto a right hand from Lawal. But he employs a couple of guys fitting kitchens and bathrooms, and that's allowed him to take 4 weeks off in preparation. 4 Ultimate Boxers estimates that he sparred some 70 or 80 rounds at Errol Johnson's gym in Wensbury. This is the shot of a lifetime for him, and he's giving everything he's got.
He's got these little rolls that he rides real well with the right hands of Lawal a lot of times. Comes back with his own shots. Interesting fighter, this Woolery. A lot of times, I think he's making it up as he goes along, but he's having success in this fight.
So Lawal covering up effectively, but Woolery letting his hands go. Lawal defending well, but a couple of these shots are getting through, and
also the busier guy is Woolery.
And Lawal not matching him for volume through this portion of the third round.
This is going to be a very interesting scorecard. I don't know, man.
So closing 30 seconds of the opening round. Woolery on the floor from a good right hand in the first. He's then been a busy boxer. Good right hand to the body landed from Lawal. The right hand didn't get through. Woolery has been determination personified. He takes another good right hand, but comes back with a left hook of his own. An action-packed 3 rounds, and there's a little bit of bad blood after the closing bell between Mikael Lawal and Anthony Woolery. No love lost between these two in what was a keenly contested affair. But Woolery came back strongly after being put on the floor.
That was a close fight. They might have to give another round anyway. Maybe that's what Woolery was preparing for. They might need another round to separate and see who won that fight. Because for me, it could be a very big possibility that Lawal won the first round by 2, but then Woolery won the next 2 rounds by a point. As we see some of the action in that round, nice little short uppercut by Woolery. He was just busy. Well, if you watch these replays, Lawal too defensive in my mind. You know, he's not a lot is getting through. Some of the shots get through, some of them don't. But this replay is an example of the action of the fight. Lawal not even thinking about being active. Look, he's in complete defensive mode. Oh, that was a little shove. That was a little shove that Lawal gave that we hadn't seen. That's why Woolery reacted with a bigger shove.
So the scorecards being tabulated ringside. And how is this one going to be adjudicated? Mikael Lawal, the tournament favorite, had a very strong opening round, but Anthony Woolery with a spirited display in rounds 2 and 3. Lawal landing clean shots during the course of those stanzas, but the volume most certainly came from the man in the red corner.
Yeah, and how clean were they? Because a lot of times Woolery was riding with them. Obviously, the knockdown was a clean shot, and some of the other ones were clean shots. But Woolery also rocked his body well with a lot of the right hands Lawal threw. It's a very tough fight to call for me.
There's Steve Gray waiting in center ring to bring the 2 boxers onto the logo, but these scorecards are taking a while to tabulate. We could well have a split decision here. Which way is it going to go? Both boxers will be replaying the bout over in their mind. What could they have done differently? Have they done enough? And the fact that there is so much discussion between the official at ringside and the MC suggests that this one could well be a split. Let's head up to center ring to get the official announcement and the result of that first quarter-final.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after our first quarter-final, we consult the judges' scorecards. Judge John Latham scored it 28-29. Mark Lyson also scored it 28-28. And Darren Sargentton scored it 27-30. It is a majority decision. To the blue corner, Mikael Lawal.
So Mikael Lawal wins a majority decision over Anthony Woolery. And one suspects that knockdown in the first round crucial in getting him the decision victory, which takes him through to the final 4. Mikael Lawal is through to the semi-finals.
There we go, decent opening fight, wasn't it, in an Ultimate Boxer 4. Anthony Crawler and Dave Caldwell ringside with me. And the right decision, do you think, in the end?
Yeah, it was the right decision, but only just. Paul, honest, without the knockdowns there, that could have been anyone's fight. And I talked about that first fight being so important. Lawal had a tough first fight there, the tournament favourite, and that's going to be hard for him. That could catch up to him his next fight, certainly if he makes it to the final.
Dave, this is why we love Ultimate Boxer, because on paper that fight was a Lawal win all along, and it went to the wire, didn't it? We can have a look at some of the highlights here.
This is what this tournament's all about. The favourite's gone in there, and in that fight there, did he look like a favourite? No, he didn't. You know, he got off to a good start. He put him down, but then from then on, he was loading up on everything. He didn't even use a nice fluid jab.
He could have made it so much easier. I mean, every credit to Anthony Woolery. He'd give it everything, but Lawal could have made it so much easier for himself getting behind his boxing. You know, the pedigree, like you said, he's had 9 fights. He was a huge favourite, and he didn't look like it in there.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He said he had to start fast, Dave, because he hadn't been doing it in his previous fights. But you said to me he was blowing, and that was in the second round.
He looked tired, very, very tired. And this is what we're saying about now. When he goes back, and his body starts stiffening up and cooling down, he's already tired now. He's expended a lot of energy. If I was Damien Chambers and I watched that fight there, I'd be licking my lips, because Mikael Lawal didn't look like a man that can cope with somebody that's going to give him put pressure on him and land some bombs on him.
No, I'm with Dave, but one thing Mikael Lawal has got in his favour now, which we didn't mention before, first fight of the night, he gets the longer rest time. But some people would say, is that an advantage or not? I don't know.
That's what makes it fascinating, right? He is the favourite. He's the 7-4 favourite to win Ultimate Boxer 4, and Mikael Lawal is with Layla.
Yes, he is. Mikael, a knockdown in the first round, how much did that fill you with confidence?
It filled me with a lot of confidence, but at the same time I knew I shouldn't lose my head because he's a really tough guy. He brought it. I thought he was going to bring it, but, you know, and obviously it's short round, so I knew I had to force myself. I couldn't really take my time to allow him to make mistakes and counter him. So I just had to take my time. I had to speed up, try rush in. I was doing some silly mistakes, but I was just trying to make sure I get a win and do enough for the judges at least. So that's what it was, really.
Before joining this tournament, you described yourself as a slow starter, someone who had a longer work rate. You had to change the tactics for this. We saw that potentially a little bit in the second round. He made the most of that. How much went to plan and how much did you change whilst you were in there?
Yeah, man, nothing really goes to plan, really. I thought in my head I was going to start quick. I do what I had to do fast, but obviously he's got less experience than me as a professional. So I think he's still got that amateur background behind him, and it's still quite fresh to him. So, but I've been in the pro game for quite a long, for 2 years now. So it was definitely hard trying to come back down to 3 rounds and trying to speed up my work rate. So that was definitely different and hard.
So you're the tournament favourite, and by what you're describing there, I'm curious to you, what was harder, the change of tactics, the change of fight, or your opponent?
I think it was a change of tactics first, yeah. Plus, I've still got 2 more fights to go. So I'm even just thinking to myself, wow. But I definitely think I'll go what it takes.
Thank you. I've got a final one for you. Your opponent did make you work in there. There were a couple of shoves, but I know respect was earned. Any final words on your opponent? Just keep watching. Got to put on a bit more of a show. 2 more fights, so hopefully 2 more fights. So I should put on a more show. So thank you. Thank you so much. Get some rest. We'll see you again soon.
There we go, fantastic victory for Mikael Lawal, who becomes the first of the cruiserweights through to the semi-finals. He will take on the winner of our second quarter-final, Dan Cooper, former professional rugby player with the Leicester Tigers. He's taking on a late replacement at UB4, Scotland's David Jamison. Stay with us, back in 2.
Just come with one game plan, and that's to win. You know, the art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. So that's going to be my aim anyway. It'll be like a dream come true because I'm on a big stage against some of the biggest, quite hyped up fighters who I believe, they're quality lads. We're all going to go down to it and the best man win.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have the second of our quarter-final clashes. First of all, allow me to introduce to the red corner, David Jamison. And next, his opponent in the blue corner, Dan Cooper.
The atmosphere is building and building. We're live from Planet Ice in Manchester for Ultimate Boxer 4, already through to the semi-final. Mikael Lawal, but who will he face? Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, your scoring judges at ringside are Mr. Steve Gray, Mr. John Latham and Mr. Mark Lyson. Your timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Chris O'Connor, and your referee in charge of the action is Mr. Darren Sargentson. This is for over three-minute rounds. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the green shorts, weighing in at 14 stones, 3 pounds and 6 ounces, with an undefeated record of 4 fights and 4 wins, 3 by way of knockouts. Representing East Kilbride in Scotland, David Jamison. Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner. He wears the pink shorts. He weighed in at 14 stones, 1 pound and 4 ounces. He has a record of 7 wins, no losses and 1 draw. Representing Lincolnshire, Dan Cooper. Over to Darren Sargentson.
Fellas, you both know the rules, keep it clean. I don't want anything low. I want you to watch your heads. When I say break, take a step. Most importantly, defend yourself all times.
So we're underway then, the second quarter-final in Ultimate Boxer 4. The man wearing the pink shorts is Dan Cooper from Ruskington in Lincolnshire. His opponent wearing the green shorts, sporting the red beard, is David Jamison from East Kilbride, just outside Glasgow in Scotland. And both straight away, both of these men toe-to-toe, chest-to-chest, looking to work away on the inside.
That's a big difference, and that's a big difference with Ultimate Boxer. A lot of times you get in a clinch in the first round and you're still kind of feeling each other out. You'll rest. Oh, good hook there by Jamison. But in the first round in Ultimate Boxer, you're looking to work right away.
Jamison goes by the nickname The Real Deal, and boxing aficionados will know that that comes from one of the, or is an emulation of one of the greatest boxers of all time, the undisputed cruiserweight champ and also the heavyweight champ of the world, Evander Holyfield out of Atlanta, Georgia, who said that he idolized him as a kid, and he looks to bring that same intensity on the front foot, always staying in the pocket, and be a value for money fighter. That's how he explained himself when we were speaking earlier in the week. He's a late replacement in this because Kent Kauppinen wasn't able to compete, so he got this call 12 days ago. But he said he's always in shape, he's had to do a bit of a weight cut, and he said that he couldn't afford to pass up an opportunity like this.
Yeah, and so far in the first round, he's the one kind of pushing the action a little bit more. Not that Cooper's doing too bad, he's boxing well, but right now Jamison with his foot on the pedal, on the gas.
Good left jab by Cooper. And again, looking to close the distance and eat up the space between them is Jamison as he looks to get back inside and land with bent-on punches. Chopping right hand landed by Cooper and a good left hook to the body.
Yeah, you see Cooper is a bit more with the punch selection. Jamison just wants to work. He wants to get inside and bash away.
But there's Jamison with a good left hook to the body, then a 2-shot salvo upstairs. Terrific action in the pocket between these two.
And you see the little sidestep by Cooper in the right hand. You see Cooper good body shots. He's a bit more selective with his shots, so it's a good style matchup here. Jamison still pressing forward. Nice jab.
Terrific work to the body from both men. Then a good right hand upstairs by Cooper, but then back comes an uppercut and a hook from Jamison. And that's all action stuff.
And that's 2 times Jamison's been able to land that right uppercut, left hook combination. And he tried it there again.
Jamison walking his man down, bullying him back to the road, but fighting his way off the strands with terrific hooks and uppercuts is Cooper. Incessant action through the opening 2 minutes so far. Good nice right hand behind a left jab from Cooper.
Yeah, that was a nice 1-2 there. But again, Jamison inside gets back to work. Cooper seems a bit more stylish, but sometimes in these kind of Ultimate Boxing fights, you don't have a lot of time to be stylish.
Terrific opening round between these two boxers.
Left hand's got to be tight. Yeah? I don't want to see none of that little shoulder rolling, yeah? What I want to see is, you know there, when we were inside, about that drink? You know hey, do you know when he's leaning on his side? That little step off, bam, bam. He's wide open every time for it. Yeah? double it. Yeah, double it.
She's a match with a nice body shot there by Cooper. You see him kind of select there. And this was a good combination there for Jamison. It worked a couple of times in that first round. Short right uppercut and a left hook to the head. But why does it work? Because Cooper stays a little bit too squared up on the inside, and he gives you the full target. Sometimes on the inside, you want to be at a bit of an angle.
So into the second round then. Both of these men bound by a common trade. They're both in the construction industry. The man in the green shorts, David Jamison, is an agricultural engineer. He does all of his construction work on farmlands in Scotland and all over the UK, truth be told, building cowsheds, building barns, building whatever's required. Dan Cooper runs his own construction business. His is more in the housing sector of the market, but both of them putting in long shifts, heavy physical work, and fitting in their boxing training around that. They've both worked themselves into magnificent condition for this Ultimate Boxer tournament, and this one being fought at a terrific clip right in the pocket. Jamison getting off with shots to the body before finishing with a jab. Cooper electing to box on the back foot, snaking out that long left jab and making Jamison miss, but couldn't make him pay.
You see Cooper's a bit more selective with the shots, but sometimes he just doesn't get off enough shots for my liking, and sometimes Jamison has the ability to outwork him because of that. But Cooper, you can see a bit more stylish, slipping, sliding, finding different angles. He just has to be a bit more busy.
Cooper had no amateur experience whatsoever.
Oh, it might have been low.
Just a shot which is strayed low, and the referee just giving Cooper a little bit of time to recover. Friendly talking to in the direction of David Jamison, just reminding him his responsibility to keep the punches up. Clock will have been stopped by the timekeeper.
And this break might actually help both guys, because this pace of this fight has been pretty fast.
So the action resumes after that intermission to allow Dan Cooper to recover from the shot, which was on the borderline. He reciprocates with the shots which were just on the margin. Jamison not complaining, continuing to chug his way forwards and trying to close the distance. Lands another shot which is on the belt line. Cooper backing up, looking to fight off the back foot. But Jamison having success walking his man down, and lands an eye-catching right hand just a few moments ago. I mentioned the fact there was zero amateur experience for Cooper, who was fighting effectively off the ropes. Good double left hand downstairs and upstairs before coming back with the right. In his white-collar career, had 27 unlicensed bouts, winning 26 of them. Good two-shot combination from Cooper, backing up Jamison momentarily. Good right hand to the body from the man in green. Good left hand in response from Cooper. Cracking left hook on the end of that cluster from Jamison. It was a long looping shot, and it landed right on Cooper's jaw.
And that was a good combination. A nice hook right there by Cooper, returning the favor.
So both men letting their hands go with terrific frequency in this second round.
Some blood on the nose of Jamison.
And a left hook on the bell from the boxer from East Kilbride. Another action-packed 3 minutes in this cruiserweight quarterfinal.
How are you feeling? Go up to me. Go up to me. All right. He's tired. I know you're tired. A big round here, big man. All right, big round. All right. Give some water. Hold your lungs up, big man. Hold your lungs. All right. That was a good round there. That was a good round there. All right. Hold your lungs up.
Well, David Jamison telling his coach Jerry Higgins that he's tired, and unsurprising given the work rate which they're both putting forward.
Yeah, and you see some of the flashy combinations of Cooper there, but there you see a nice combination capped with a big left hook by Jamison. Cooper returned with a couple of body shots, but the eye-catching shot there was the hook. Right before that, we saw a nice combination also by Cooper. Good skills shown by both of these guys in this fight.
Well, Well, a sporting touch of gloves to begin the third and final round in this second quarter-final in Ultimate Boxer 4. Both men having success at all territories, really. The man in the green shorts, David Jamison, always looking to work at mid and short range and down to the body as well, and that's what he's attempting to do now. Nice dip from Cooper to evade the onslaught that came in his direction, and he's looking to establish his long left jab. Tried to corkscrew left hand but can't find the range. Stark contrast to the non-eggs though. Good right hand from Cooper. Behind the left jab and then the same shot once again.
I want to tell you, when Cooper finds that distance to shoot that 1-2, he's had success with it.
Here's the same shot once more, really measuring his man with that rapier-like right hand in his final round so far. Jamison responds with the same shot. Jamison had an outstanding amateur career, 58 bouts in his tenure in the vest. Came really close to representing Scotland as he put on the end of a nice combination punctuated by a left-right. Came close to representing Scotland at the Commonwealth Games last year, but was beaten in the final box off by the GB representative Scott Forrest. Good right hand from Cooper once again, and then a ripping left hook to the body beneath the right elbow of the man in green.
And Cooper really having his good round, having himself a very good round here.
Cracking single right hand just a few moments ago.
And remember,
from Cooper.
I remember Jamison took this to enter the tournament late as the last-minute replacement, and him fading in this last round. Good shot, though.
But he came back with a big left hook of his own. Both men leaving it all in the ring in pursuit of a place in the semi-finals. The tournament favourite, Mikael Lawal, awaits. Good right uppercut, left hook. Jolting left jab in response from Cooper. Terrific action right on top of the logo as Jamison lands another jolting left hook.
Jamison has had success with that combination, right uppercut, left hook. Every time he gets inside, he likes to use it.
So inside the final minute, both men have expended an awful lot of energy throughout this entire contest, and in the third round in particular. Cooper started it magnificently with terrific accuracy with his right hand, but Jamison has fought his way right back into it, and right now these two men contesting a toe-to-toe contest right in the middle of the ring.
I'll tell you, it's a shame one of these guys has to lose, because they've both given it not only their all, but also shown some really top-class skills, and have both been exciting.
So both men continuing to target the body. Good right hand upstairs landed by Cooper. Jamison continuing to bust away just above the belt line. Terrific contest in this second quarter final. And nice to see that show of respect between the two men, because they really did test one another over the course of the 3-3-minute rounds.
They sure did, and both of these first two fights, not a lot of energy being saved, you know, and you wonder how the winners will advance energy-wise as they prepare to face one another.
Well, David Jamison had the longest journey of anybody in this tournament. Said he sold just 4 tickets. One to his father, one to his partner, who he's getting married to next year, and his 2 best friends have made the journey down. He said that he hopes to win Ultimate Boxer because he and his fiancée Michaela are getting married next year, and he said that bag from winning this tournament would come in really handy. But he's just had a tough quarter-final here.
Could be a very nice honeymoon if he wins this fight, this tournament.
Well, Jamison sustained some nose damage in the second round. Let's take a look at some of the action from that terrific third stanza.
That was a nice combination by Cooper. Started to the body, backed off Jamison, and then as the distance was created by Jamison backing off, he used a straight 1-2. But then Jamison coming right back with some good shots on the inside. Cooper never abandoning the jab. Just good exchanges back and forth. And you see here, again, the same combination. Jamison clearly loves this combination. The right uppercut, left hook landed well there. And of course, he was following it up. But Cooper, never to be undone, continued to try to fight back. And there you saw the same combination again, 2 times in the same replay. Jamison coming back with the right uppercut, left hook.
So the referee brings the boxers to center ring. Our MC is ready with the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of non-stop action, once again we consult the judges' scorecards. Steve Gray scored it 29-28. John Latham scored it 28-29. and Mark Lyson scored it 28-29. It is a majority decision. To the red corner, David Jamison.
And is David Jamison a majority decision winner over Dan Cooper? But Dan Cooper deserves immense kudos for the part that he played in what was a terrifically competitive quarter-final.
Yeah, and a very, very close fight. And it's a shame one of these guys had to be eliminated here because both guys were very exciting, and I would have loved to see either of them continue in the tournament, or both of them, because we will see one of them, but both of them. One of them, unfortunately, has to go home.
Such is the nature of the Ultimate Boxer single elimination format. It's Jamison who goes through. He'll meet Mikael Lawal in the semi-finals.
Yeah, what a semi-final that will be. Dave Caldwell, Anthony Crolla. That was a nice little dust-up, wasn't it, for the second fight of the night?
The second fight of the night, we might have seen the fight of the night, in my opinion. What a fight. A result, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
It could have gone either way. Did you like the pot shot in, picking the quality of shots from Cooper, or the relentless, the non-stop work of Jamison? And that's what the judges went for. Very, very close. But I tell you what I was saying to Dave, with Lawal, I feel like the Jamison fight is probably the harder fight for Lawal. So it's going to be interesting.
That's going to be explosive, isn't it?
We were just saying about Jamison. When he gets up close, he's a little bit more educated when he gets up close, how he puts those shots together. And we found that Lawal wasn't comfortable when somebody's up close throwing the shots. So it makes the semi-final a cracker, and that, going forward from there, I think either way, that is a very, very hard fight for both fighters going into the final.
The second half of this draw is going to be so interesting now.
Yeah, and when you think about it, Dan Cooper hadn't had one amateur fight. David Jamison had about 60.
With Dan Cooper there, he comes out of rugby, you expect him to be a strong lad, bulls forward. He picked some lovely shots.
He did,
picked some lovely shots, put us on the back foot.
Was fantastic,
And
weren't they?
yes, definitely. And he had a great case for winning the fight. He felt that he had, understandably so.
Yeah, let's have a look at Jamison in action then here, because we were sitting down. I mean, that third round, there was some great exchanges.
See, he was busier, and he threw some nice body shots, like Paulie was picking up on. The hook were landing every time. And they're eye-catching. When you're spinning somebody's head, they're eye-catching shots, and that, the judges liked that. The judges liked him coming forward and putting the pressure on all time.
So there we go. David Jamison is into the semi-final, and he is with Layla.
I'm joined by him now. I must say, firstly, thank you for an absolutely brilliant fight. And of course, you came with less than 2 weeks' notice. What was your plan and your tactics throughout?
Especially on a night like this, 3-minute rounds, big cruiserweights for 14 stone 4. So it was really, there was no game plan. It's a shooting match in there. It's just who's going to get hit in the chin first, and that suits my style.
You appeared to give it all in there. Did you? Because you have potentially 2 more fights tonight.
You've got to give it all every time. And when you come see me out here in 20 minutes, I'll do exactly the same again. That's the Scottish spirit. We give it our all.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see you in the semi-final.
Thank you very much.
From David Jamison then to a man who's been there, done it, got the T-shirt. He's backstage, Tony Conquest, with Steve Bunce.
Yeah, I'm in one of the 2 changing rooms, 4 quarter-finalists in one changing room and 4 other quarter-finalists in another. I'm with the senior member, the most experienced man in this tournament, Mr. Tony Conquest. Tony, it's been a long time since you prepared for a 3-3s, isn't it?
Very long time, since the ABA days, yeah. Very long time, 2009.
Now, Tony, I spoke to you about 4 weeks ago and said, are you going to try and do anything different? What are you going to do? Because in theory, it's 3 3-round fights over a 2.5-hour period. Have you done anything different?
A lot more explosive, fast stuff. Loads more explosive, fast stuff. And, just got myself nice and fit and ready. It is what it is. It's a fight at the end of the day, so just get yourself fit to fight.
And has that been different, Tone? Because, over the years you've prepared for 12-round fights, proper fights for proper titles. It's a few years ago, but it's not like you've come out, ended a 20-year retirement. Some people are talking about you like you come out of exile like George Foreman did after 10 years and gaining 15 stone. You're still only a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super old. I'm 35 for a cruiserweight. That's not too old. I had 2 years out of the game for a while, which recharged my batteries, refreshed me, not physically, but mentally as well. So, I still feel pretty good, pretty fit, decent shape, like I said. So, got main man Peter behind me. Had some brilliant sparring with my main man Craig Richards as well. So, I'm feeling good, feeling ready.
Pete, if I could bring you in, if I could just swing the camera around and grab you. Pete, Have you prepared someone for prize fight before? 3-3s, prize fight, Ultimate Boxer, any of those tournaments?
Yeah, I had Isaac McLeod in the Ultimate Boxer up here. I think it was the first one they done, I think. So, yeah, I've done preparation with Isaac for this competition. And, yeah, it's a bit different. We have to change things.
To say the least.
To say the least, yeah. But, I mean, fortunately enough for Tony, he's had some great sparring. You know, he's had John Doherty, the southpaw, the super middle speed. He's very, very tall, 6'2", 6'3". He's had Spider Richards, 6'3" orthodox. So we've had 2 sparring partners, southpaw orthodox, both fast hands, range. We're prepared well for this. Yeah, really well.
Everyone prepares just about as good as they can. See you in a minute.
So semi-final 1 decided. Mikael Lawal taking on David Jamison. And then quarter-final 3 we have up next for you. That man on the left, Tony Conquest, the guy we just heard from, the most experienced contender here tonight, a former Commonwealth champion, up against Rashawn Ellington, 13 years his junior, a fast-paced fighter from Newcastle under Lyme, whose style has been compared to the greatest. It should be a cracker. Don't go anywhere.
When you're in a ring, you've got to be like serious about it. So the way I see it, you just got to. I ain't smiling in the ring. I'm going to be honest, I ain't smiling in the ring, not until I know I'm comfortable. But yeah, I just enjoy myself. I'm still young. I've got a chance to become a world champion. If not, then I'll be fighting world champions. That's what I want to do. That's my dream. Never quit. I ain't made for quitting. It's how you put me on the floor and put me out cold, or that's it, or if the rest stops it.
And next, we introduce his opponent into the blue corner, Tony Conquest.
Welcome back. Quarter-final 3 up next here at Planet Ice in Manchester. This will be explosive. It's man against boy on paper as Tony Conquest takes on Rashawn Ellington.
Ladies and gentlemen, your judges scoring at ringside are Mr. Steve Gray, Mr. John Latham and Mr. Darren Sargentson. Your timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Phil Morris, and your referee in charge of the action is Mr. Mark Lyson. This quarter-final clash is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, in the red corner, wearing the white shorts, weighing in at 14 stones, 2 pounds and 12 ounces, with an undefeated record of 5 fights and 5 wins, including 1 knockout. Representing Newcastle under Lyme, Rashawn Ellington. Across the ring, His opponent stands in the blue corner. He wears the black shorts. He weighed in at 14 stones, 3 pounds and 6 ounces, with a professional record of 18 wins, 6 losses and 6 wins by way of KO. Representing Romford, Essex, Tony Conquest. Our referee in charge of the action is Mr. Mark Lyson.
Okay, boys, both know the rules. I want you to obey my commands. If I tell you to break clean. Defend yourselves at all times, boys. Good luck to you both.
Well, what an intriguing matchup we have here in this third quarter-final of Ultimate Boxer 4. It pits the most experienced man in the field, the oldest man in the field, against the youngest athlete. So 3 3-minute rounds then to determine who is going through to the semi-finals. The most experienced man in the field is the boxer wearing the black trunks. That is Tony Conquest.
Sometimes the guy with the experience knows a lot, but he's not used to fighting at the faster pace that usually the younger guys are. So we'll see. Conquest probably comes with a bag of skills. Oh, good right hand there by Chambers. Bag of skills maybe, but he needs to be busy, and we'll see if he's used to that.
So Ellington looking to already switching feet.
Ellington.
Goes by the nickname Shani Baby Allen. He's landed a good right hand which has stiffened Conquest's legs and sent him to the canvas. And he appears to be in real distress here. He's holding his eye. He's not going to beat the count. And he has been counted out in the opening round. Tony Conquest, the former Commonwealth champion, defeated inside the opening round by Rashawn Ellington, who goes through to the semi-finals in storming fashion.
And something seems wrong with Conquest's eye. I mean,
well, let's hope that Conquest is okay, because he reacted in rather disturbing fashion to that shot. He's been holding that left optic since he went down to a knee. Now the medic's in the ring, and he's getting all of the correct care post the stoppage.
Ellington showing us that here, experience in this tournament does not necessarily take you far. And we saw in the first fight Woolery, who didn't have a lot of experience, take the tournament favorite Lawal to the edge. And now here, Ellington takes out Conquest, the most experienced fighter of the tournament, in less than a round.
So nice to see that congratulatory hug from Peter Sims, the trainer of Tony Conquest. And this is how he did it. The right hand put Conquest on unsteady legs, and then he went down to a knee. You can see him blinking furiously after taking that shot.
And there's a right hand. It created a nice distance with a double jab, which is, he set it up just the way you want to. As Conquest, he managed to hold the distance on Conquest just the right way so that he could get full extension on the right hand and get enough power on it. There it is again. You see the jab putting Conquest just out of position enough as he's pulling back just a little bit, and it of course created the range for Ellington to be able to extend the right hand and get the maximum leverage and snap on it.
And Mark Lyson counting out Tony Conquest, who is consigned to his 4th loss in the professional ranks. That's back-to-back defeats for Conquest now, and all 4 of them have come inside the distance.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is no need to check the judges' scorecard on that one. Our referee, Mr. Mark Lyson, stopped the action after 43 seconds in the very first round. And the winner, by way of knockout, Rashawn Ellington.
So Rashawn Ellington through to the semi-finals, scoring the first inside the distance victory of Ultimate Boxer 4.
There we go, boys. What about that? Rashawn Ellington has put a seasoned veteran out of this competition. We were not expecting that, Dave. We may have expected, fireworks over the 3 rounds, but no one expected it so soon in that first round.
No, I certainly didn't expect it, but it was a beautiful shot, and this is boxing. And, it wasn't nice seeing Tony. I've known Tony for a lot of years, watching him coming through the boxing, through his career. It wasn't nice to see that, how he reacted. We can all accept when fighters get stopped, get knocked out, get up, be all right. he was very distressed there with his eye, and I hope he's not suffered a bad orbital bone injury or anything like that. You don't know, but there's definitely something there that wasn't right.
I'm hearing an old injury might have popped up, but let's take nothing away from Ellington because the right hand was, Tony's legs had gone as well, and it was a fantastic right hand, and he was, I think, the youngest and the eldest in the competition there.
Do you know what would you want in your first fight in Ultimate Boxing, knowing you got a fight? That is exactly what you want.
David,
He's a great advantage.
In Tony Conquest's last fight, which was in Florence, I think it was against Fabio Turchi, and his corner threw in the towel because of an eye injury. Blood filled up, and I'm not sure whether I can't say it was exactly the same eye, but I know that's what happened in the last fight. So here we go. This is the moment.
The right hand that does that. Look at that full extension, and you see his legs there anyway. As Anthony said, it hurt. He was definitely hurt. It's not just about the eye. He was definitely hurt. But when he's gone down there, then you see a reaction on his face, and then there's definitely a problem with the eye there.
And we expected big things, didn't we, from Tony Conquest? Because as Bunty chatted to him a few moments ago, he's been around the block. He's a former Commonwealth champion. He's got so many fights under his belt.
The most experienced fighter in the competition. But again, this competition, like Ellington, inexperienced, 5 fights, but he was fast. He was out there, and it looked set to be a bit of a chess match. The first one of the night where they wasn't flying into each other, and then one shot changed it all.
Yeah, well, there we go. Turnout for the books. 4-1, Rashaan Ellington to win Ultimate Boxer. He's with Layla.
He is with me, and he's been dancing. Our youngest fighter, Rashaan, just knocked down our most experienced fighter. How's that make you feel?
Well, I was buzzing over it, well happy, but I'm not going to lie. Every fight, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I was only trying to feel him out, try and find him, but obviously he dropped. He didn't like the power.
You say you didn't like the power, the potential orbital bone break there. Did you feel it? Did you realise straight away?
God's honest truth, it wasn't power, it was speed, and I didn't even feel the shots. It clipped him. I was going to carry on, but I noticed that he went down to one knee, and obviously I hope he's okay, because obviously he's a very nice man, and he's a very experienced man, and luckily enough I just caught him right.
Ahead of tonight, a lot of people called you a dark horse. What more can we expect from you? We haven't seen much yet.
I'm just going to try my best. That's all I can do. So just keep watching and enjoy it.
Perfectly said. Thank you, Rashaan.
Thank you very much.
So there we go, Rashaan Ellington into the semi-final. Who will he face next? Bunty is backstage with a man who's in that final quarter-final, Damien Chambers.
I'm in the other changing room now with Chambo. Well, he's the man that I tipped to win, which is why the other 7 boxers have been giving me daggers all night. You've watched the fight so far. A couple have been on. Have you seen anything that's changed your opinion?
To be honest, like I say, I'm not going to overlook anyone, but the fight that I just seen then, it wasn't that impressive by the wall. Woolery did really well, you know what I mean? He was just unlucky he got that knockdown, otherwise it might have been a bit closer.
Now, I talked to you a few weeks ago. We talked about methods, different training methods. Have you done anything drastically different to prepare for the 3 fights?
To be honest, we've been sparring like heavyweights, light heavyweights, cruisers. We've been mixing it up a bit, and the last spar that we had was like 3 rounds sparring, then out for a couple of rounds and back in for 3. So just like that, basically, you know what I mean?
Of course, he did start his training camp on the beaches in Cyprus. No, he did start his training camp on the beaches in Cyprus. Chambo, enjoy yourself in there.
Nice one, brother.
Thanks very much indeed. It's all happening back here.
Love that, Bunty, right in the thick of the action backstage. 1 quarter-final, then left to decide the last place in the semis. It's the big-hitting Damien Chambers trying to deliver yet another first-round knockout, or can former pro bodybuilder Matt Sinn outmuscle him? Don't go away.
They're all unbeaten in this show, so it should be exciting. There's a good few knockouts between us all, but I want to be able to show them that I am explosive and what I can bring to the table. Just be ready, watch out. You know, I'm coming for them all. I don't care how big you are, how strong you are, how many knockouts you've got. I'm just going to take everyone out. Simple as.
For me, when the bell rings, let's just get it on. If you're going to put me away properly. I want to be a show reel. Do you know them ones where it's slowed down, it looks nasty? If not, I'm going to do that to you. I just can't wait to get it on.
And next, his opponent in the blue corner, Damien Chambers.
The last semi-final place then up for grabs now, already in the ring. Damien Chambers and Matt Sinn.
Ladies and gentlemen, your judges scoring at ringside are Mr. Steve Gray, Mr. Mark Lyson and Mr. Darren Sargentson. Your timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Phil Morris, and your referee in charge of the action is John Latham. Our fourth and final quarter-final is fought over three 3-minute rounds. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the yellow shorts, weighing in at 14 stones and 1 pound, with a record of 5 wins and 1 loss, representing Wolverhampton, Matt Sinn. Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner, wearing the blue shorts, weighing in at 13 stones, 13 pounds and 14 ounces. He has an undefeated record of 7 fights and 7 wins, 4 by way of knockout. Representing Lincolnshire, Damien Chambers. John Latham is in charge of the action.
Right, lads, you know, expect from you both, you obey me instructions at all times. When I tell you break, you both break clean, defend yourselves at all times, and the best luck to you both. Touch gloves.
So the final quarter-final about to get underway. There is the demolition man, Damien Chambers, receiving his final instructions from former European champion Magic Matthew Hatton. An undefeated ledger so far, 7 wins out of 7, 4 knockouts, all 4 of them coming inside the first round. So we're underway then. Damien Chambers, the undefeated fighter, wearing the blue trunks trimmed with gold. His opponent with the huge tattoo across his torso and back is Matt Sinn from Wolverhampton.
And Sinn, they said, was a bodybuilder, so he's trying to use that physicality. Yep. While Chambers obviously trying to use the pedigree, the boxing pedigree. You can see that as he circled the ring, trying to create distance and use that jab.
A height advantage of some 4 inches according to the tail of the tape for Chambers, who just tried a left-right combination, but it was blocked effectively by the gloves of Sinn. When Sinn was into his bodybuilding, he used to walk around at 18 stones and would cut down to a rock-hard, ripped and lean 16 stone. Went on stage, won national championships in the 90-kilogram division, and only got into boxing as he's put on the end of a jolting left jab from Chambers, but only got into boxing to be a sparring partner for his brother. His younger brother, Nate Stevens, was a heavyweight, and that's why he got into it, just to keep him active and in shape. And then it was suggested to him that he turns over himself. He said he laughed in the promoter's face at first, but here he is, 6 fights into his professional career. It's his 7th bout here tonight, and he said he's just going to bring it, because he didn't imagine a boxer with his start would be on this type of stage.
Referee warning for rabid punches on the inside. And Chambers does something very nice from the outside too, because it's hard to always maintain that distance when you got a guy always rushing you, but it's just a nice combination by Chambers.
Oh, terrific punch-picking double left hook in the right hand, and Sinn's in real trouble, and he's been put to the canvas by a blistering combination. Well, Sinn was shaken up by some sharp shooting punches there from Damien Chambers, all predicated off a left jab, but the way he was getting behind Sinn's gloves was impressive. Another jolting left jab, and Sinn doesn't appear to have recovered, and he's sent down to the mat for a second time. Still plenty of time left in this first round, and it's all over. So Damian Chambers scores his 5th first-round stoppage, extending his record to 8-0. And after the first 2 fights going the distance here at Ultimate Boxer 4, we have had back-to-back first-round knockouts in the final 2 quarterfinals. It's Damian Chambers who'll be going through to face off against Rashan Ali, and both men you expect will be very fresh indeed, because they both got their opponents out of there in the opening round.
Yeah, and while Ellington's first round KO was a clear knockout, this one, I don't know. I would have let Sinn continue. I think that, you know, him being down twice, the second knockdown was partially balanced, partially a punch. So, you know, I think he was okay. He looked like he was arguing the stoppage as well. At the end of the day, it's not like you're going 12 rounds anyway where you say, oh, this guy's going to take a beating. He would have only, the maximum he can go is 3 rounds. So I would have let him take another shot and see if what he would have done. But Chambers is looking really good. And what I was trying to say was he maximizes distance by also using his feints and not just the jabs. And it keeps the opponent off balance.
Ladies and gentlemen, in our 4th and final quarter-final, there's once again no need to consult the judges' scorecards. Our referee, Mr. John Latham, stopped the action after 2 minutes and 10 seconds of the very first round. And the winner, by way of knockout, Damian Chambers!
So Damian Chambers through to the semi-finals, where Rashan Ellington awaits. 2 first-round knockout victors will face off in the final 4.
There we go then, guys. Back-to-back first-round stoppages. Not quite what we were after there, but Damian Chambers and showing that he means business tonight.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with the way he went about that. Behind the jab, his jab was key, and I think a lot of the time, the people with the best jab will win a tournament like this. And I thought his jab was very impressive there. He brought Sinn up, and that's a great result for him.
He's got the pedigree, isn't he? He trains with Matt Hatton. It means serious business, as we said. He's here tonight to prove a point, to put at 30 years old his name out there, Dave.
Yeah, we know that he's got a bit of power. We've talked about his power prior. But he showed he's got a boxing brain as well. You know, he controlled the pace.
What did you see there that impressed you?
He had good feet.
Yeah,
he had a lovely jab, a lovely fluid jab. It wasn't ramrod. He wasn't stiffening it up. He was just biding his time until he found the spot. And I'll tell you what, the semi-final, Ellington and Chambers, is going to be a thinking man's fight, because they're both going to be picking the shots, working through openings. They both seem clever sharpshooters. That's a really good fight. That's a high quality fight.
And they both had very short course fights, haven't they?
Both going in there fresh, and that's where being backstage now, who gets it right out of Ellington and Chambers plays a huge part in it.
But then I guess equally you could say that, going back to Mikael Lawal, he's had plenty of time, hasn't he, now to recoup. Do you want that time, Dave? If you're training him,
it's difficult to say, but he had a hard fight, so he needs that best time. And he's got a hard semi-final coming up.
Yeah,
he has got a hard semi-final coming up.
You know what Jameson's going to bring,
and he'll know. We heard him in the interview. He said how every fight he's going to give it everything he's got. So he's going to put it on him, and he's going to put it on the wall and make it into a tear-up, make it into a close quarters fight. And if Lawal can't control that distance and can't, if he throws every jab as a stiff jab, he's going to gas again. He's got to be smooth, he's got to be relaxed, and then catch the shot.
And if he does do that round 2, 3, Jamison's going to keep coming. I know he's just had the hard back there, but he's going to just keep coming. Like you said, he hit spaces before, rather than Woolery, who give it everything. He hit a lot of arms and gloves. Jamison won't do that. It's two really interesting semi-finals. I think they'll be very different as well.
I would also say that Jamison's the kind of guy that where if you have to pick out of the 2 fighters, Lawal and Jamison, who wants and who doesn't mind having hard fight, Jamison looks like that guy. He's the one
he's got a wedding to pay for.
He's willing to put it on the line and have a tear up each one. Whereas Lawal, he's a thinking man. On this format, you could see in the interview with him, he looked a little bit where he was a little bit befuddled, a little bit confused.
He was honest. He was so honest, didn't he? He was like, wow, I've got another 2 fights.
Yeah, that's not his format. He likes to think about what he's going to be doing there. And in these 3-round fights, we haven't got that time.
Don't want to be Captain Hindsight, but I said Chambers, Lawal final, Chambers to win it. Dave, we shall see. What do I know? Hey, anyway, Damien Chambers is with Layla.
Yes, he is. Now, your coach, Matty Hatton, described you as a calm, calculated fighter, yet we saw some real explosiveness in that first round.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was going to come straight forward and start trying to throw bombs, so I was ready for it, you know what I mean? No matter what he brought to the table, I was ready for anything. I've had a good camp. So yeah, I turned up and I knew what I was capable of, so I didn't plan on the first round, it just come. My coach just said box, just so that's what I did, come forward, box.
That was your, I believe, 5th knockout now in 8 fights. Are we going to see some more knockouts tonight?
Yeah, I'm happy with another first round, obviously, but obviously the competition's going to get harder, so yeah, I'm ready for anything, you know what I mean?
You mentioned the competition's going to get harder. How much did your opponent test you? How much did we see from you, do you believe?
I expected more from him, to be fair. Watching him on YouTube and stuff like that, he likes to come forward, swing a lot, so I was expecting him to come throw a good few bombs, but didn't really hurt me or anything, so I'm happy, ready for the next round.
You'll be through to the semi-final, fighting Rashan, our youngest fighter here, who also had a first-round finish. What are your thoughts on that matchup? Yeah,
he's a good lad, good fighter, sound lad as well, so yeah, it should be an exciting fight, that. It was a good stoppage. We've both got good stoppages now, so it'll be exciting for the next fight.
We look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So this is what the semi-final lineup looks like here at Ultimate Boxer 4. You can see on the left there, Mikael Lawal, the man we saw first in action here in Manchester, taking on David Jamison. That's semi-final 1, followed by semi-final 2 of Rashan Ellington against the man who we've just seen book his place in the last 4, Damien Chambers. And if you're enjoying all the action, just to remind you, we are back officially on the 20th of September with Ultimate Boxer 5 from London, when it is time for the super welterweights to battle it out for the Golden Robe. Well, while the Ultimate Boxers take a rest, the fights keep on coming here tonight. We'll be back after the break with some more action for you. He's from Bolton. It looks like he's brought most of Bolton with him tonight. A long-awaited TV appearance coming up for the talented super lightweight Kahil Majid. He's meeting Lester Cantillano of Nicaragua next. A very warm welcome back to Manchester. Hello, you two. We have reached the semi-final stage of Ultimate Boxer 4. But before the last four do battle, we have, well, what is set to be a feisty four-rounder in store for you. Over to our MC, Lance Murdoch.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, 4 3-minute rounds in the super lightweight division. Introducing first, in the red corner, wearing the blue and white shorts, weighing in at 9 stones and 13 pounds, with a professional record spanning 43 fights, representing Nicaragua, Lester Cantinado. Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner, wearing the green, white and red shorts, weighing in at 10 stones, 4 pounds and 2 ounces, with an undefeated record of 3 fights and 3 wins, representing Bolton, Khalil Majid. Our referee in charge of the action is Mr. Darren Sargentson.
Fellas, you both know the rules, keep it clean. Don't want anything low, watch your heads. When I say break, take a step. Most importantly, defend yourself all times.
So we're underway then. In the super lightweight division, this contest scheduled for 4 3-minute rounds. And the taller boxer wearing the green trunks trimmed with red and gold is Khalil Majid, competing in his 4th professional contest tonight. Undefeated so far, was an outstanding amateur out of Bolton, and his opponent is Lester Cantilano from Nicaragua, based in Spain. He's competing in his 35th professional contest tonight. Already hits his 8th fight of 2019.
Busy schedule.
Most certainly.
So Cantilano with a short stance and obviously a short demeanor, so he's going to want to get inside. And Majid, of course, with that height, looking to establish that range. And you see a quick, sharp jab.
Cantilano campaigns mainly at lightweight. Majid, a fully fledged super lightweight, and that reflected, as you say, in the statures and the relative physicality of the two men. Good right hand landed on the inside, but that is where Cantilano is going to have to get to, inside that longer raking left hand that Majid possesses.
And you see Majid trying to keep the pressure on Cantilano, but yet not get too close to where Cantilano is at his ideal distance. So Majid trying to negotiate that distance behind that sharp jab, but continuing to press.
Arcing right hand around the corner is a good shot from the man in blue, trying to bring an uppercut through the middle, but that was defended effectively by Majid. Now Majid getting back to work with a left hand and lands a good right hand to the body. Tries a corkscrew right hand, does the man in green, but it was wide of the mark. The left jab which followed was right on the money.
You can tell Majid bigger at the weight, and he's probably going to try to impose himself on Cantilano. Cantilano, a lot of times, seems like he's throwing because he feels like he's forced to throw, and that's also the mental pressure of Majid, and not just the physical pressure. By Majid continuously walking him down, it makes Cantilano feels like he has to fight him off.
Nice head movement from Cantilano to avoid these straight shots that were pumped out by Majid, but then intelligently he goes to the body. Good double right hand to the body from the man in blue, and then there's that same arcing right hand getting behind the left glove of the boxer from Bolton.
And Majid keeping a good positioning, good glove positioning, and obviously a good solid defense, and that's key, obviously something relative to that amateur experience.
A terrific career in the vest with Majid. These two men exchanging body shots on the inside. Majid willing to concede his advantages in height and length and trade in the pocket, but then when he got back to range, that's a terrific spearing right hand, and then he brings a right uppercut through the middle. Good shot against the shorter man. Right uppercut landing on the bell for Majid. Busy opening round in this super lightweight bout scheduled for 4 threes.
Straight shots first, then get yourself inside, but when he's working inside with you, go inside and work, more work rate, bro, yeah? I want more work rate, yeah? You're doing everything right with you, where you are with your shape, bro, yeah? But you need to work more, mate, yeah? Shorter shots, faster, bro, yeah? Deep breath. Deep breath, bro, yeah? Like I say, he's only got that, bro, yeah? Catch, boom, boom, yeah? Catch, right body, yeah? Let's go again, bro, yeah?
So into the second round then. A good left jab landed to the body by the man in blue before Majid, nicknamed the Major, gets to work with his lead left hand, and there it is in evidence once again. He's really controlling the distance effectively with that shot to begin this second round.
Yeah, and he's changing the speed on it as well. You know, sometimes he's touching Cantillon with it, and sometimes he's just snapping it out. Cantillon obviously trying to use those looping shots when he gets close to Majid.
Beautiful counter left-right from Majid, but Cantillon showing his customary fighting spirit. Mentioned the fact that it's his 8th bout of 2019 tonight. Last year he competed 13 times, in 2017 10 times, so you get the idea. He's a busy individual after making his pro debut in 2016. First 4 fights in Nicaragua, but since then he's fought all over the world. Good left-right from Majid once again, then dropping down to the body with a straight right hand.
Good right hand there by Cantillon. He's trying to keep busy as much as he can, but Majid clearly feels more comfortable inside now because he's staying there, spending more time there, and he feels like he can muscle Cantillon around, and he obviously feels like Cantillon is not hurting him, and he can hurt him.
And again, the shots from Majid just beginning to have a more pronounced effect now. The jab is forcing the smaller man backwards when it lands. Terrific tenure in the unpaid code for Majid. Lost just 6 in an 87 bout amateur career, picked up national titles at the schoolboy and youth levels. Big ticket seller in Bolton. First got his way into the sport when he used to go down to the Thai boxing gym with his dad, Amar, who was going there for fitness. And even though it was Thai boxing, Khalil was always using his hands. He actually got in trouble for using his hands and not concentrating enough on the legs, so it seemed a fairly natural transition to progress through to the noble art. And my goodness, hasn't he done well at it since going down to the Thai boxing gym at around 8 years of age.
He likes a little bit of a tussle as well because he's abandoning the jab now and choosing to be on the inside. He was pressuring earlier behind the jab. Now you see a couple there, but pretty much electing to go into the phone booth with Cantillon.
So looking to take on the shorter man at his own game. Trying to perhaps dispirit the man from Nicaragua, based in Catalonia. Good left hook to the body. Cantillon reciprocates with the same shot. Oh, nice dip underneath and then counter left hand to the body from Majid.
You know, I mentioned earlier that Majid getting more comfortable on the inside. A good shot there, but as he probably feels Cantillon can't hurt him.
Well, he's having success with that right hand now. There was a long raking one a few moments ago, then he shortened it into a right hook and both of them landed flush. But Cantillon, 30 losses on his 34th fight ledger. But he's only been stopped on 4 occasions. He's a good survivor. But good action in the second round from the man from Bolton.
Beautiful that, bro. Right, bro. What you doing, bro, yeah? Easy, bro, yeah? But he's getting tired now, bro, yeah? You need to keep working that body, bro, but throw the straight shots first, bro, yeah? Don't look to go in there, bro. He's only trying to time that right and over the top, bro. That's all he's trying to do, bro, yeah? He'll start off fast again, bro, yeah? Work your way into it, keep your hands tight, bro. Shot, damage the body, bro, with all the stabs, bro, yeah? Fire the straight first, bro, yeah? So right land to the body, straight left, right to the end, yeah? Push him back, bro, yeah? Once it's back to the ropes, bro, we can go to work, bro, yeah?
So into the second half of this super lightweight contest that is scheduled for 4 rounds. 2 rounds completed, is scheduled 2 rounds to go. Khalil Majid, well, it's a competitive contest, but there's no doubt that it's Majid, the boxer in green, who's in complete control here. He's demonstrating good variety, plenty of patience. But Lester Cantillon really earning his money tonight because he continues to bring it despite being made uncomfortable by the success at just about all distances now that Majid enjoyed in that second round. And again, Majid stepping into Cantiano's territory, bit of a forearm beneath the chin, trying to lift up that head before he looked for the right hand. Good right uppercut on the inside from Cantiano.
Cantiano gets inside once in a while. He tried it again there, and he tried it again there.
Well, he always gives a good account of himself. We've seen him on these shores on many an occasion, facing off against good, young, invariably undefeated prospects, and he always brings the heat, making the young prospects work. He's doing the same thing tonight, but again, onto the front foot is Majid, who just takes a left hook around the rear of the ear. He's trying a corkscrew left hand, but can't find the range.
And Cantiano, I think, is also pretty confident that Majid can't hurt him. He's taking some shots from Majid, and he's still there, and he's more than willing to fire back, because some clean shots like that right hand Majid just landed.
Cracking right hand straight down the pipe from the man nicknamed the Manger.
They're not breaking Cantiano's spirit at all.
Cantiano has faced off against good prospects. David Oliver Joyce in his second fight. Joe Cordina, the British and Commonwealth champion currently. Cantiano shared a ring with him when Cordina was 4-0. Then Ryan the Piranha Garner when he was 6-0. Sharp shooting Archie Sharp when he was 12-0. So that gives you an idea of the caliber that Cantiano mixes with, and he continues to get work here on these shores because he always gives the young prospects good work. It's his 13th fight in the UK tonight, and he's doing similar again here in Manchester.
Yeah, more than willing to try to dig his heels in and throw his hands and try to pose problems from Majid.
Good right hand over the top from Majid. But again, Cantiano difficult to discourage, remaining in the pocket, trying to look for a place for his own punches. Couldn't find a range with that right hand as it landed on Majid's shoulder. Majid looking for a left hand to the body. Cantiano responds with a right hook downstairs of his own. Majid turning southpaw momentarily. Didn't spend long in the port-sided stance, but another action-packed round in this super lightweight bout. So Steve Bunce is backstage here on this night of Ultimate Boxer 4, and he's with Damien Chambers. Let's hear what the Demolition Man has to say.
Thanks very much, Big Ron. It's that awkward time, Damien. It's between the quarter-final, the semi-final. Do you warm down? Do you sleep? What are you doing?
Well, there's not long left to go, is there? But I'm more than ready anyway, you know what I mean? I'll just do a quick warm-up in a minute. Just getting the wraps back on, because we've just had the wraps cut off by accident, like. But yeah, once we've got these on, do a quick warm-up and then we're ready. Ready to go, man.
Straight back in, just quickly. Did that go exactly how you wanted it to go?
Yeah, I'm not too fussed, mate. You know what I mean? Just going to go in there and do what I do. Whether it's 10 3-rounders or 3 3-rounders, I'll just go in there and box. You know what I mean?
Go in there and box. You know what you mean? Back to you, Big Ron.
Thank you very much indeed, Steve. Damien Chambers concentrated and in the zone ahead of his Ultimate Boxer semi-final. Getting his hands re-wrapped after that first round KO that he had against Matt Sinn. Meanwhile, we're back in the super lightweight division here. The Major, Khalil Majid, hadn't had it all his own way over the completed 3 rounds. Lester Cantiano, the Nicaraguan based in Spain, has certainly brought his fighting spirit with him here to Manchester tonight. There's little doubt that it's Majid who is winning this contest.
I think it's been almost a competitive shutout. You know, Majid is winning all the rounds, but Cantiano is not just handing them over. He's showing some resistance, and he's forcing Majid to have to think a little bit. And I think Majid has almost gone into autopilot in the first 3 rounds, so I'd like to see him try something different. And here he is. He's going backwards now, and maybe he'll try to lure Cantiano into some traps.
Nice right hand around the corner from Cantiano, sparked a burst of activity from both men. Good variety from Majid, who dropped downstairs to the body effectively. That's the beautiful lead left hook of the long variety from Majid.
Now, a lot of times, if Cantiano wants to fight, maybe you can lure him in and get him reaching, and then get him to open him up that way. And it seems like Majid choosing to fight this last round on the back foot, and he's landed a couple of good shots trying that game plan.
Mention the fact that Cantiano has fought all over the world after having his first fall in his native Nicaragua, while he's packed his bags and his gum shield and his gloves. And he's competed 11 times in Spain. He's fought in France, Poland, Belgium and Italy. That's a whipping right uppercut landed by Majid, and then trying a right hand to the body. But again, credit to Castellano, who is very fit, very well conditioned, and his fighting spirit remains intact because he keeps on coming.
Yeah, and he came there and he clash of heads there was with Majid about 20 seconds ago. Luckily, no cutters opened up.
And in a fight where Majid is clearly the better boxer with the advantage in size and weight and length and reach, well, he's going to have to ward against that. Doesn't want to pick up a nasty clash, which would a nasty cut, which would impair his ability to train and compete. It's his second fight of 2019 tonight for Majid after making his debut in September of last year. And again, Castellano continuing to show defiance that he's not hurt, and the two men looking to put on an action-packed exchange for the crowd.
Yeah, and Castellano, like I said, I don't think Castellano feels he can be hurt by Majid. So he's more than willing to get in there and trade on the inside. So it's up to Majid to try to open up different things for him and for himself and be a bit more creative. He's more skilled, he's just got to show a bit more creativity. But this fight seems a shutout for Majid.
So another fight that goes the distance for Khalil Majid. A little doubt that he's going to improve his ledger to 4-0, having gone the 4-round distance in his previous 3 fights. That's indeed the case again tonight. But a very entertaining contest where Khalil Majid was the dominant boxer right from the opening bell.
Here's some of that action in the last round. Majid wanted to throw the combination, but Castellano looking to throw anytime he's in the pocket. That was probably the best shot of the fight there, as Majid landed a nice whipping left hook from the outside. That was earlier in the round. There it is again from a different angle. Majid seeing Castellano take a step in but not throw, so obviously using that big left hook.
So let's head up to centre ring and get the official particulars at the conclusion of that 4-round super lightweight contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, we consult the judges' scorecard. Our referee and scoring judge, Darren Sargentson, has scored this bout 40-36. To the blue corner, Khalil Majid.
So Khalil Majid, a popular winner here in Manchester. He extends the perfect start to his professional career to 4-0, winning every round against Lester Cantiano. Good contest.
Well, we hope you're enjoying your Friday night here on BT Sport. Ultimate Boxer 4 is going to serve up a few treats. Semi-final 1, Mikael Lawal taking on David Jamison, followed by semi-final 2, Rashawn Ellington against Damien Chambers.
Bunch the truck, bunch the truck. And what's coming up, the four semi-finals, having spoken to them, or will that interfere with the films that are coming? You want me to do that? And
Welcome back to Ultimate Boxer. You are just in time for the first of the semi-finals, and this is how it lines up. Mikael Lawal taking on David Jamison of Scotland, followed by Rashawn Ellington up against Damien Chambers. It's been a long time, hasn't it, since we've heard from Mr. Steve Bunce. He is backstage. He's been catching up with all of tonight's semi-finalists. Buncey.
indeed, Will. It's like the walking wounded back here. Men with eye injuries, men exhausted, men being iced down. We've got the two semi-finals, but it's not as simple as that. Both of those winners were in hard fights. Jamison, hard fight. Lawal, hard fight. And then the other semi-final, they were in easy fights. Two first-round knockouts for Ellington and Chambo. But is that good? We don't know. And what's more, you'll love this, Will. They don't know. It's semi-final time. It's 2 hours in. There's 90 minutes to go. Don't go anywhere.
We're not going anywhere, Buncey. Look at that, packed out here in Altrincham, semi-final one. That one is up next. Mikael Lawal, the favourite, the 7-4 favourite to win Ultimate Boxer 4, taking on the man from Scotland who we saw finish off Dan Cooper, David Jamison, followed by Rashawn Ellington against Damien Chambers. Some brilliant fights in store. Let's get out there for the first of our semi-finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the first of our semi-finals here at Ultimate Boxer 4, allow me to introduce first of all to the red corner, Mikael Lawal.
Well, that certainly is not Mikael Lawal. The man nicknamed Lethal is awaiting his introduction. But that anthem from Oasis is the ring walk tune selected by David Jamison. The man who has improved his record to 5-0 tonight. 3 of those wins coming inside the distance. The late replacement from East Kilbride, just outside Glasgow in Scotland, was engaged in a terrific quarter-final victory where he prevailed by a majority decision over Dan Cooper, where his relentless come-forward style, based on the man he idolized as a kid, Evander the real deal Holyfield, just got the better of Dan Cooper and his sharp-shooting long-range shot. It's David Jamison, the agricultural engineer, taking up residence in the red corner once again, awaiting the arrival of his semi-final opponent, the tournament favorite, Lethal Mikael Lawal.
And next, his opponent in the red corner, Mikael Lawal.
And here is Mikael Lawal, the man out of Stonebridge Boxing Club in northwest London. Makes that short journey from Shepherd's Bush to work on his craft every day. His semi-final victory was also a majority decision win over the ball. Anthony Woolery put his man on the floor in the first round, but Woolery bit down on his gum shield and came back in ferocious fashion in rounds 2 and 3. Lawal got the job done, so both of these semi-finalists coming through hard quarterfinals to book their place here in the final four.
And an interesting clash of styles, because I thought Lawal won his first fight because he was a bit more skilled, but Woolery was actually the one who wanted it more. And Jamison, I thought, won his second fight on pure determination and desire, because it seemed like Cooper was slightly more skilled but less busy. So this will make an interesting clash of styles, because Lawal might be again a bit more skilled, but he showed not a lot of desire in the first fight. He needs to show more desire if he's going to deal with the pressure of the real deal, Jamison.
Ladies and gentlemen, your judges scoring at ringside are Mr. John Latham, Mr. Mark Lyson and Mr. Darren Sargenson. Your timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Phil Morris and your referee is Mr. Steve Gray. Semi-final one is scheduled over 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, in the red corner, wearing the grey shorts, he defeated Anthony Woolery in the quarterfinals to be here, representing Shepherd's Bush, Mikael Lawal. Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner, wearing the green shorts. He defeated Dan Cooper to get here, representing East Kilbride in Scotland, David Jamison. Steve Gray is in charge of the action.
Okay, boys, if we're called late, take a step back. Don't throw any punches on the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
So who has enjoyed the better recovery period during this intermission after both men came through grueling quarter-final victories? It's the Ultimate Boxer Cruiserweight semi-final.
Interesting, because these guys had very tough first opening matches, and the other two semi-finals has very easy opening matches.
So we're underway then. The first semi-final of Ultimate Boxer 4. David Jamison, the late replacement from East Kilbride in Scotland, who had a grueling quarter-final victory over Dan Cooper from Lincoln, facing off against the tournament favourite, the man in the grey shorts, lethal Mikael Lawal. He too had a hard quarter-final victory. And even though Lawal is the tournament favourite, Jamison with a far more extensive amateur resume. 58 fights in the unpaid code, 43 victories, just 15 defeats, and a couple of national titles as well. And it's Jamison invariably onto the front foot, looking to walk his man down.
Yeah, he's looking for it. And Lawal, with that extended old lead hand, he wants to establish some distance. But one thing you have to do if you're going to fight that way, you've got to counterpunch. A lot of times Lawal, even in the first fight, in that defensive posture, does not throw punches back, showing a nice jab here as he's trying to keep Jamison off. But when Jamison does step on the front foot, behind that jab has to be some sharp counterpunching from Lawal if he's going to keep Jamison off of him.
So Jamison improved his record to 5-0 with that majority decision win over Dan Cooper. Good left hand from Jamison. With Lawal by the corner, Lawal improved to 10-0. He's been the 6-round distance during the course of his career. Trying a left-right combination, but Jamison was wise to it and caused the shot to go over his shoulder. Right hand from Lawal wasn't too far away. Midway through the opening round.
Right hand partially landed by Lawal. Jamison getting inside, but not working a lot. He's getting tied up. That's the difference with Woolery in the first fight. He would get inside and move his hands any which way he could, and Lawal was uncomfortable. Jamison accepting a bit of the clinches as he moves his hands there. He's got to move his hands a bit more like he did against Cooper in the first fight.
I was there the first day when Mikael Lawal walked into a boxing gym at Stonebridge Boxing Club in northwest London. Good left hand landed by Jamison, and then a follow-up wasn't too far wide of the mark. Counter right hand from Lawal is a nice shot.
Yeah, nice shot to the body by Lawal there. A straight right hand.
But there we were inside Stonebridge Boxing Club, and a man of his stature and beautiful left uppercut from Lawal. And a right hand follow-up sends Jamison to the canvas. Lawal with a heavy right cross after a beautiful left uppercut, and Jamison on the floor.
Yeah, I think he felt the uppercut first. And for the second fight in a row, Lawal has himself a 10-8 first round.
Closing seconds of the first round. Jamison continues to pour forwards. Is he playing possum? He takes another arcing right hand over the top. He's closed the distance on Lawal, and he's preventing Lawal from working away. Is Lawal content to have that 10-8 round in the bag rather than go looking for a follow-up and a finish? Well, the heavy-handed Mikael Lawal scoring a first-round knockdown, courtesy of a left, courtesy of an uppercut, and then a right hand over the top. Let's listen in.
You see some of that action here. You see a nice short left uppercut as he dips in. Very good technically by Lawal. And then the counter right hand. I was talking about that, the fact that he needs a counter punch. And there it is. You see the left uppercut first. And watch Jamison. He's going to come with a right hand. Lawal dips it and throws his own right hand. Great counter shot after landing a very nice, crafty lead uppercut from the angle.
Pull your lungs, go again. Go feel something what you want.
10 seconds. Well, it's Jerry Higgins from the Priestfield Boxing Club in Blantyre giving the instructions to David Jamison. Plenty of inspiration needed in that corner, as well as calm-headed instruction as well. Sultan Abdul Mohammed, the man in the cap inside the ropes, giving the instructions to Mikael Lawal. So Jamison on the floor in the opening round. Has he had enough time to recover during the minute intermission? The knockdown came late in the first round. Mikael Lawal remaining relaxed, remaining cautious. He's a heavy-handed hitter, as I was mentioning before he scored that knockdown. I was there the first day he walked into the gym. Man of his stature walked in. We said, "What have you done?" He said, "Not much, no football, no nothing." But he took to boxing, a 7-fight amateur career, then turned over, signed up by the Sauerlands, and as a result, he's had a pretty globe-trotting career to this point. Fighting on some big undercards, including on the undercard of Callum Smith versus George Groves in Jeddah, on the undercard of Myris Bridis in Latvia, sparred with the likes of Alexander Usyk and Tony Bellew. Lawrence Okoli, the British champ, who's in action this weekend, so he's getting good experience under his belt. But he's just tagged by a good left hook there by Jamison, who remains on the front foot.
Yeah, Jamison trying to get busy, he's trying to get on that front foot, and he's going to need it.
Nice left jab from Lawal on the resumption. Here's a shot once again, and it's a heavy jab that he possesses. Look how it backed up Jamison, just knocking the man off balance as he rips through another beautiful left uppercut, Lawal.
And I tell you how he's setting up that left uppercut. He's using the left hand as a jab, and he's using it nicely as a jab, and so he gets Jamison, as there Jamison, nice combination inside. He gets Jamison looking for the jab, then he'll make a little lead feint, and Jamison will dip, wanting to get away from the jab, and it'll put him in position to get hit with the left uppercut. So again, he's setting up the nice jab, looking at the nice jab. You see what Jamison does when the jab's coming. See how he dips? And that is what causes Lawal to finally fake the jab, and come with the left uppercut.
Jamison trying a right hand over the top, but Lawal was able to defend it effectively. And it's a far more dynamic performance in this semi-final by Mikael Lawal, predicated behind that jolting left jab that is really disrupting the rhythm that Jamison is attempting to establish.
Good skill shown by Lawal. All the skill that we didn't see in the first fight, because Woolery was on him like white on rice. This time Lawal getting enough space for himself and setting it up with his feints, a lot like Chambers did in his fight, in his first round fight as well. The feints can be used a lot in this 3-round salvo as well. People think you just have to be busy, but the feints can create that space you want.
Good use of the feet from Lawal to get himself out of the corner and then establish distance once again, and that left jab is really working effectively. He looked for the left uppercut once more but couldn't find a home for it. Jamison with a good burst of punches to the body. Beautiful use of the left hand during the course of that round from Mikael Lawal. Let's listen in.
Sit down, please. Now look, don't say nothing. Just a little bit sharper with your punches, yes? Soon as you're moving, in and out. When you're moving out, then come back again to the right.
There's a left uppercut once again.
And there it is. That was that left uppercut we were talking about. There's the same way, dip to the left, keeps himself tight, and he throws it. In the first round, he followed it up with a counter right hand and scored the knockdown. But this is all set up by the great jab of Lawal. You see there's little feints there. Look at Jamison reacting to everything. Once your jab is working very well, your opponent will react to every feint, and that's what you notice. Lawal's jab working very well, and because of that, his feints allow him to maintain that distance that he likes without having to always throw a punch. He can just use the feints.
Into the third and final round and of this first semi-final of Ultimate Boxer 4 cruiserweight action. Mikael Lawal, the tournament favorite, wearing the grey trunks, put David Jamison on the floor in the opening round. His left uppercut has been an eye-catching punch, but all of his effective work has been set up by a beautiful left jab. It's been heavy, it's been disruptive. Jamison has continued to try to walk his man down, continuing his forward forays, but invariably he's having his attempted, oh, that's a good right hand and a cuffing left hook with the inside of the glove from Lawal. But his rhythm is being disrupted by a beautiful left jab that Lawal has been pushing out. It's been loose, it's been fluid, and it's been heavy as well. Here's Jamison in his preferred territory, chugging away on the inside just above the belt line. Good counter right hand again on the inside from Lawal. The follow-up left hook was just wide of the mark. Jamison again with a burst of punches to the torso of Lawal. Lawal loading up with a big right hand, which was wide.
And Jamison upping the pressure in this round. He knows he needs a big round, if not even a knockout, so he's going for broke.
And you can see Lawal trying to set up that counter right hand, trying to walk Jamison onto it, but he hasn't found the mark, but here he landed it right on cue, Paulie. So approaching the midpoint of this third and final round, Jamison in pursuit of a place in the final. His fiancée Michaela has made the journey down from East Kilbride. One of 4 spectators he's got with him tonight. He's a long way from home, but there he lands a good double left hand on the inside. He's turning up the tempo in the final round. Lawal looking a little bit more languid with his punches now, and seeming to just have his energy reserves dipping on him. Minute to go in the final round. Good 1-2 combination from Lawal, but Jamison encouraged by the fading Lawal, who is fighting in front of him.
Yeah, and does Jamison have enough in this 1 minute? Because like Lawal, he also had a very physical first fight. Very tiresome first fight.
So can Lawal come out of the other side of what has been a bad patch for the difficult patch for the previous 30 seconds or so? His movement was just a little less crisp. That's a good right uppercut on the inside from Jamison. And now is Jamison looking to get busy at close quarters, tying up Lawal and preventing him from working away. And after having so much success at range, now this one has been fought in the confines of an elevator.
Yeah, and Lawal needs to shorten up that right hand. He keeps overshooting it, and it allows Jamison to get inside. And sometimes you get wider with your punches because of fatigue. And maybe he's throwing it a bit too wide because of his fatigue.
Well, Jamison was preparing for a fight in September when the call came. Beautiful uppercut and left hook from Lawal. Right hand goes long once again. Both men punch right up until the final bell, but it's Lawal who raises his arms immediately, because with the insurance of that 10-8 round and a strong second round behind the left jab and left uppercut, he'd probably got enough insurance in the tank to withstand the late rally from David Jamison and book his place in the final.
Yeah, a valiant effort by Jamison in the third round, but it seems a bit of a case of a little too little, too late, and he'll go home, but he can keep his head high, having fought his heart out in these 2 fights.
He absolutely gave everything, the short notice substitute, and this some of the action from the final round.
And that was an example of Lawal overshooting the right hand there. As he got tired in this last round, he threw the right hand just a little too wide, but the left hook there, when he followed the right hand with the left hook, he found the home for it in that little exchange.
Well, plenty of respect in evidence between these 2 boxers. But Lawal in confident mood at the conclusion of that contest. Jamison acknowledging the support that he's receiving from the crowd. It's been a terrific spectacle in this first semi-final. We're just awaiting the official verdict. Steve Gray waiting to call both boxers to centre ring. Lawal, remember, scoring a knockdown in the first round, and the man's full of energy now, dancing up there as the tune being played out of the public address system.
Of course. You got to feel it when the music comes on. You're always feeling it.
So let's get the official verdict then from our MC Lance Murdoch.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an epic semi-final. Let's hear a big round of applause for both of these warriors. However, only one can progress to the final. We consult the judges' scorecards. John Latham scored it 29-27. Mark Lyson scored it 29-27. And Darren Sargentson scored it 29-28. It is a unanimous decision to Mikael Lawal.
So lethal Mikael Lawal from Shepherd's Bush in West London goes through to the final courtesy of a unanimous decision victory over the late substitute David Jamison, and his fans who have made the journey up from London are absolutely ecstatic. Mikael Lawal more dynamic, more energetic in that semi-final, and the tournament favourite will compete for the Golden Robe.
Absolutely, and well-deserved final appearance for Lawal. A very, very solid performance in the second fight. Jamison showing a lot of heart, but just a little bit worse for wear when it came to the skills department.
There we go, the tournament favourite Mikael Lawal into the final of Ultimate Boxer 4. Anthony Crolla, Dave Caldwell with me ringside here, and we expected him, didn't we, to get to the final given the draw that he was given, but that third round was some shaky moments in there for him.
At the start of the competition, the smart money was on a Lawal definitely gets to the final with a Lawal Chambers final. After that first fight, I wasn't so sure we was going to see Lawal in the final. Very, very impressed with him for 2 rounds then. The last round he went back to what he did wrong in the first fight, and maybe that was the pressure of Jamison as well, though.
Which was what?
But it was a much more improved performance from Lawal, but he kept the distance, he controlled the distance perfect for 2 rounds, and then third round he let Jamison fight his fight, and he got dragged into a bit of a dogfight, and that's not Lawal. After that first, seeing him for the first 2 rounds then, I got what the fuss was about with Mikael Lawal. It looked very, very good. And that left uppercut was a lovely shot.
I think the difference was in the first fight when he came out, when he was throwing the jab, it was a stiff, heavy jab, and he was loading up on even the jabs. In that jab, he changed the jab into a flicking, sharp shooting jab, and that control, the speed of that bought him the time and the distance in the ring, and so he could use the feet, he could use the distance, and he just picked him off. Jameson kept pushing him and kept pushing him. But a little difference that I thought was when Jamison actually got on top of him. Because Jamison's got the amateur schooling that Woolery didn't, yes. Jamison was trying to be a little bit more clever on the inside, which we thought in the first fight was going to be to his advantage. Yes. But I think because Woolery, he didn't know where the shots were coming from, that's why he struggled when he was backed up onto the ropes. Because when Jamison got onto the ropes, in the first 2 rounds, he managed to control him, lock him up, and he rode it out. Yes, in the last round, he was tired. The body shots, the first round, and then the first fight, and then the body shots in this fight that Jamison was landing, I think tired him out a little bit, and so he started going back, like Anthony said, swinging in, and it was anybody's game there in that last round, because Jamison was ducking, and if he was coming back with a left hook and catching Lawal high, then you don't know what was going to happen. That was a hard semi-final that he's just faced there now.
2 hard fights that he's had.
The winner of this contest now, if they can win without it being as physically exerting, they might well be the favourite going into that final.
Do you want a bit of that, Anne? Essentially, do you want?
Of course, you want a bit of
excitement. I mean, for your heart rate, maybe that is a good thing. Rather
right,
than
as a fighter,
being at that tempo.
And as a trainer, you don't want your fighter
because he was still dancing around at the end, Lawal, wasn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what? He needs to conserve his energy. He needs to be backstage now. He needs a towel around him. Yeah. Just to keep him warm. He can't stiffen up and seize up now because that was hard. He looked really tired there because the 2 rounds he boxed sharp, it was great, and then it just came on top of him in that last round, and you saw there the hard night he's had.
And fair play to David Jamison because he was a late replacement. He only had less than 2 weeks to prepare for this.
Fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic.
Great late addition to the tournament. He give it everything in. Like you say, he wanted that wedding paid for, but he gave it absolutely everything he had to make sure he could walk home with the prize money. But he's got a future in the sport for sure.
More from Anthony and David shortly, but let's hear from our finalists. The first man into the final of Ultimate Boxer 4, Mikael Lawal, with Layla.
Mikael, with this format of 3 3-minute rounds, you don't have a lot of time to read your opponent like you usually do, and they don't have as much time to read you. Yeah. In which case, I think your feints gave you a really good advantage in that one. Do you think the same?
So I didn't hear you, sorry.
Your feints.
Yeah.
I think they gave you an advantage this time.
Yeah, definitely. After the first fight, I got warmed up and I'll go into it. So now I'm a lot more used to the format, and now I'm ready. Like, I can go 3 more fights. I really feel like that. So I'm really, really ready. Yeah.
I'm glad you said you could go 3 more fights, because we know the first fight took a lot more out of you than you expected. We did see fatigue set in the second round there. How do you feel? How do you recover quick enough, because you're through to the final?
Well, fatigue is normal. It's just one of the things where I just recover quickly. And that's what all the training's been for. So basically, I'm used to it. I've done this in the gym, so I'm just looking forward to the final.
So could you consider the first 2 fights training for the final then?
Yeah, definitely. So now I'm feeling ready, feeling sharp. Yeah, last one. Big respect to the guy I just fought, David. Tough guy, very skillful. And my first opponent too. Didn't expect that from him, so big respect to him too. But come on to the finals, I'll do it again.
Very well earned. We look forward to seeing you in the final. Go rest. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. So 11-8. Mikael Lawal to win Ultimate Boxer 4. Those odds have come in a little bit, and he's going to be facing, either Rashaan Ellington, who's at 4-1, and evens Damien Chambers. I asked you at the beginning, who's your money on? Who's your money on now, Mr. Caldwell?
This is why I hate picking winners. You know, whenever anybody asks me about these tournaments, pick a winner. I don't like picking a winner, because until you can say what you want before the fight, but then when you watch the first fight, I've always said it can change. I've watched
my opinion changed for the first 2 rounds then of that last fight.
I've watched my favourite, Mikael Lawal, have 2 hard fights. In the semi-final, the first two rounds he was great, but he couldn't sustain it. Damien Chambers showed me in that first fight that he can box. I know he can bang, but he can box. He's got decent feet and he's got a good jab himself, and he's fresher. Now it all depends on this semi-final now, because both kids have had an easy, quarter-final. Let's see. I think that this is going to be a slower-paced thinking man semi-final. I could be wrong, but I think this is going to be a thinking. Both fighters are going to think a little bit more. So I think it's not going to be as physically taxing for the winner to go into the final. So ask me again after this one. I don't know.
Right, I'll tell you what, should we hear from Rashaan Ellington, the man who's we haven't heard from in this final semi-final. He went outside a few moments ago to get a bit of fresh air with Steve Bunce.
It's hot inside. It might be the Ice Palace, but it's hot inside. I'm outside with Rashaan Ellington. 1 round win. That's a good start. Semi-final now. What's going through your head? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I still haven't been punched in the head. I'm still language. I'm still scared, I'll be honest. But yeah, I just won't flipping fight.
So you're nervous that you've not been in a fight yet?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm scared of the whole show, and I'm scared of these cameras in my face everywhere.
But the thing is, Rashaan, in all fairness, you've had less than 2 minutes or so. You haven't been punched in the face. Doesn't that give you a massive advantage? But then there's the problem. He also had a first round win.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, he's been punched in the face, and now his nerves might be settled. Mine, I haven't been punched in the face, so I haven't settled. But yeah, I'll just go in there and enjoy myself.
And you should enjoy it. That's what I like at Ultimate Boxer. Where else do you get to interview a boxer and he complains that he's not been punched in the face? You gotta love it.
Love it, Budsy. Dave Caldwell has said to me, what's he doing outside? He shouldn't be outside. We'll see if that hinders him in the semi-final. Who will join Mikael Lawal in the showpiece final? Find out after the break. Welcome back to Ultimate Boxer 4. Hand in the air for that man, Mikael Lawal, into the final here in Manchester, sweeping past David Jamison. Who will he meet in the final? Up next, semi-final 2 here at Ultimate Boxer 4. Rashawn Ellington taking on Damien Chambers.
And next in our second semi-final, introducing first in the red corner, Damien Chambers.
Well, the man, nicknamed Demolition Man, lived up to his ring moniker in his quarterfinal. A first-round knockout winner, something of a shootout. Almost lost his way to the boxing ring there, but a first-round knockout winner in something of a shootout against Sinn. Putting him on the floor twice. The referee waving the contest off. The 2-minute, 10-second mark of the first round. So very little physical energy expended by Damien Chambers as he books his place in the final 4 with a first-round stoppage victory.
And next, allow me to introduce his opponent into the blue corner, Rashawn Ellington.
Well, in the sport of boxing, this perhaps an unusual choice of ring walk music by Rashawn Ellington. Spoke with him in the week, and he said that opera relaxes him. And so his tune of choice is Nessun Dorma by the legendary Luciano Pavarotti.
Good taste. But
a cultured individual indeed.
Even me being Italian, I don't know if I can listen to Pavarotti on the way to the ring, nonetheless. But I give him credit.
Ladies and gentlemen, your scoring judges at ringside are Steve Gray, John Latham and Mark Lyson. Your timekeeper at the bell is Chris O'Connor, and your referee is Mr. Darren Sargentson. Semi-final 2 is fought over 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the blue shorts. He defeated Matt Sinn to get here, representing Manchester, Damien Chambers. Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner, wearing the white shorts. He defeated Tony Conquest to get here, representing Newcastle on the line, Rashawn Ellington. Over to our referee, Mr. Darren Sargentson.
Fellas, you both know the rules, keep it clean. I don't want anything low, watch your head, and when I say break, take a step. Most important, defend yourself at all times.
So 2 undefeated fighters going head-to-head in the second semi-final of the Ultimate Boxer 4 Cruiserweight Tournament. So we're underway then, semi-final number 2 in Ultimate Boxer 4. Beautiful left jab scored by the man in the white trunks, but it was countered immediately by a right hand from the man in blue. The boxer wearing white is Baby Sean Ali, and he's just been tagged by a good left hook by the man nicknamed Demolition Man, the boxer in blue, out of Manchester. Good double left jab from Chambers.
And Chambers just seems a bit more composed with his style. See if Ellington can get into a rhythm and set it and compose himself a little bit.
Well, after his quick victory over Tony Conquest, beautiful straight shot landed once again. Oh, and a beautiful right hand from Damien Chambers has sent Rashawn Ellington to the canvas. He's beaten the count. He's showing referee Darren Sargentson that he's okay, but there is plenty of time left in this opening round. And Chambers is on the hunt for the finish, teeing off to both body and head.
And he's turned southpaw and just gotten hit with all right hands. He still hasn't really done anything effective out of the southpaw stance. I don't think Chambers has missed a right hand since Ellington turned southpaw.
And Ellington trying to fight his way out of the corner. But Chambers swarming his man like a piranha.
And now Ellington goes back to the right-handed stance.
Brings a big left hook, but it was wide of the mark. Chambers, he'll be keen not to load up. There's that up jab once again from around his waist. Right hand around the corner isn't too far away. Another looping left hook is wound up and missed. Beautiful left jab once more. Ellington trying to switch his feet, trying to get himself into the contest. But so far, well, it's one-way traffic from Damien Chambers. Now Ellington trying to establish his jab. He said before the contest he was nervous because he hasn't been hit in the head yet. Well, that has certainly been rectified now because he's taken a few shots from Damien Chambers and he's been put on the floor as a result.
Yeah, he more than got himself into the fight now if he's waiting to get hit. But you see how Chambers does something very sneaky. He's got something very crafty. He's got a nice jab and he uses it with the feints as well. But sometimes he'll throw a sweeping left hook, and it's a sweeping hook. Good combination there by Ellington. It's a sweeping hook that basically he's not even trying to hurt you with it. He's trying to sweep your head into his right hand, into the direction of his right hand. And you'll see him kind of change that jab into that hook once in a while and look to shoot that shoot that hard right hand.
Ellington switching to the southpaw stance again, but he took a while to switch from orthodox to southpaw, which meant he was square on for a very long portion of time. He takes another jolting left hand from Chambers, who's enjoying a terrific opening round in this second semi-final. There's the left jab once again, tripled up on this occasion and keeping Ellington on the back foot.
Nice
Looping
hook.
left hand landed from Ellington, but Chambers back into the pocket behind a straight left.
Ellington's awkwardness being a little bit more effective in the last minute of the round.
What an action-packed opening round, and Damien Chambers starting incredibly quickly, sending Rashawn Ellington to the floor.
Listen, he's scared of that right hand. You're not throwing it though. Have a mouthful. Spit it out, bucket! Mouthful.
You see the knockdown here. You see Ellington was right-handed there at the beginning, turned southpaw, jumped in with a jab, because you see the way he comes in. And there he's a right-hander here in this combination. You see him, this is a different, he turns southpaw and he jumps in. You see how he jumps in with that lead jab. He didn't step in the right way, and he jumped in right into the counter right hand of Damien Chambers.
Get your head, Sean. Get your head on the move. Come on, Sean. You can do that, son.
Former English lightweight champion Scott Lawton giving the instructions in that corner. Trains at Scott Lawton's Impact Gym in Fenton in Stoke-on-Trent. Does Rashawn Ellington. Good right hand over the top behind the double jab.
And that was the same combination that got him the knockout in the first fight against Conquest. Double jab, right hand, landed there. Obviously, it didn't have the effect it had on Conquest, but that's what Ellington wants to do, or needs to do.
Chambers looking for that looping left hand around the guard of Ellington, but Ellington altogether more confident. But he takes a stiff left hook there from Chambers, but Ellington looking to up his work rate and get to work behind his rapid left jab. He was just picked off by a nice straight left from Chambers, who's remaining composed and relaxed on the outside. There's that jab from the waist once again from the man from Manchester.
You see, Ellington tries to be a bit more confusing with turning lefty, turning righty, and then trying to jump in and fire off. Chambers a bit more composed because he's using feints as well. I think Ellington, if he's trying to be confusive or trying to confuse Chambers, there's a double jab right hand again. That's his combination. And if he's trying to be confused Chambers, I think he could also use some feints in there as well. Chambers does a good job with the feints.
Well, Ellington said that even winning his first fight in Ultimate Boxing, which he's done, but winning it would mean the world to him. He said he has put everything on the line for boxing. Good double jab right hand again, and another right hand over the top, and a left uppercut, and all of a sudden Chambers is on unsteady legs, and he's wrestled to the canvas. No knockdown, according to referee Darren Sargentson, but how badly shaken up is Darren Chambers? How quickly has he recovered?
I don't know why Ellington's going to touch gloves. He's supposed to be jumping on him right away. Oh!
And he's doing exactly that, and Chambers is in real trouble here in the second round, trying to close the distance and hold on, but Ellington keen to work away.
And Ellington needs this 10th round. Chambers doing a good job of surviving the moment, a good hook, and that backed off Ellington right away.
Well, the heavy-handed Damien Chambers found a single shot to buy himself some time, but has his head cleared, have his legs recovered, because he was put on unsteady pins as Ellington with a beautiful left uppercut right hook combination minute to go in the second round, and it's been a terrific portion of the round for Ellington.
Ellington needs to get settled down a little bit. He's rushing his work a bit too much. And now back on the jab for both guys.
Exchange of jabs there. Oh, beautiful right uppercut and left hook once again from Ellington. And Chambers appearing to come apart at the seams, relying on his heavy-handedness, playing possum, trying to demonstrate that he's not hurt, but his legs have completely gone. They dip dramatically. Ellington back onto the front foot. He switched southpaw, looking to pick off his man, and lands a southpaw left cross. Chambers showing terrific punch resistance. He's taking an awful lot in the closing stages of this second round.
And if he can stay on his feet, it could mean the difference in the fight. I mean, we don't know what kind of third round we're going to have, but not losing this round 10-8 could be crucial in this fight for both Ellington and Chambers, or at least it's more important for Chambers. We saw the double jab right hand. That's the combination that hurt Conquest. And then all of a sudden, we saw the follow-up, and suddenly Chambers was hurt. He pushed down. He pushed Chambers down there, Ellington did, and that got Chambers a bit of a break. And here, how close was this to a knockdown? Is the uppercut left hook came, and Chambers stumbled, but wasn't knocked down. And of course, all of the bad bounds by Chambers in that round. He's a good technical fighter. It's because he was hurt earlier in the round and his legs were never steady underneath him to begin with.
Well, Ellington up off his stool, ready for work, showing Chambers that he is ready to go. Chambers taking every second of the 60-second intermission and then some. The bell sounds to begin this third round, and we are underway. Which way is this dramatic cruiserweight semi-final going to turn? Ellington on the floor in the opening frame. Chambers on unsteady legs for the majority of the second round, but crucially managed to stay on his feet. Jolting left hand once again from Ellington. Chambers countered with a shot of his own.
I tell you, Ellington makes that awkwardness work for him.
He said that he's unpredictable. He said sometimes he doesn't know what he's going to do next. So how on earth is my opponent going to pick it? Yeah, training at the Impact Gym in Stoke-on-Trent. Said he's laid it all on the line for boxing. He's a full-time pro. And he said when I spoke with him earlier this week, I am flat broke right now. I don't have very much, and winning this would be a life-changing occurrence for me. He's acquitting himself very well in this second semi-final so far.
And it's one thing to be awkward, but when you're awkward and you have punching power, it really can be scary for the opponent and really control your opponent, because awkward fighters tend to land weird punches. And you don't want to get hit with the weird punches when a guy can hit hard. And great counter hook by Chambers there.
Well, he lives in Madeley. The Impact Gym is in Fenton. He said it's a 10-mile run to the gym. Then he stays at the gym for 3.5 hours. Then he either catches the bus, runs or cycles home, consumes some food, rests for 90 minutes, and then it's out for hill sprints for Rashawn Ellington. That is his routine. He said that everything he's got has been laid on the line for boxing.
Having said that, because he lost the first round 10-8, he's got to win this round. He's got to get working. This round's still up for grabs here with a minute 15.
Counter right hand from Chambers is a nice shot. He's got a full-time job as a furnace operator. 5 shifts in 7 days. 14 shifts over the course of 2 weeks. It's hard physical work. And that was beautiful single shot.
And now, I tell you what that was. That was important because that broke up the double jab right hand combination of Ellington. Ellington was looking for that double jab right hand combination again, but this time Chambers broke it up by using his own jab in between the two jabs and disrupting the remainder of the combination.
And now it's Chambers who's getting to work with that jab which served him so well in the opening round. Ellington trying to re-establish his. Big left hooks land almost simultaneously. Chambers appeared to be more forceful even though it was landed with the inside of the glove. 30 seconds to go in this final round. Ellington surely needs a big final 30 seconds when you consider that Chambers managed to stay on his feet during that torrid second round that he endured.
Yeah, and that could prove the difference in the fight. Although, you see a cut there on the left eye of Chambers.
And he's been put on the end of jabs. He lands with a left hand of his own. Both men have given absolutely everything in what was a pulsating semi-final.
What a fight.
Ellington came back terrifically after being put on the floor in the opening round. He had Chambers in serious trouble during the course of round number 2, but Chambers managed to stay upright, and then the final round was a competitive affair where both men enjoyed success.
Yeah, and Ellington looks like to have used a little bit of a cut on the left eye as well. I'll say another thing. All the energy these guys saved by having a first round knockout in their first fight, they more than doubled that energy that they saved. They more than doubled in consuming that energy here in the second fight.
There was the jolting left hand that you talked about from Chambers.
There it is, right in between the double jab. You see that?
Ellington.
Because Ellington, clearly, one thing we've noticed in these couple of fights, he loves that double jab right hand combination. And there Chambers finally got a timing on it and disrupted it with his own jab before Ellington could turn the right hand over.
Well, mentioned how committed Ellington is to the sport as a full-time pro, but not fighting with that much regularity. Strange route into boxing for Ellington. Actually wanted to go in the army, but failed the bar test when he was 16. But then wanted to emulate his Uncle Johnny, who boxed. Went down to the boxing gym. After he was sent home from the army, they told him to come back in 2 months. He had a white-collar fight for Help for Heroes, and then at that point he was hooked. Stayed in the white-collar scene, and since that time he's turned over, undefeated in 6 coming into this fight. But which way has this semi-final gone?
All the while listening to Luciano Pavarotti.
Well, he's a happy character, is Rashawn Ellington. We're about to get the verdict from RMC, who will be going through to face off against new tournament favourite Mikael Lawal in the final. That first round knockdown scored by Chambers could well be crucial when scoring in this contest. Here's the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I call a fight. If you agree with me, make some noise, Manchester! However, only one of these fighters can progress to the final. We consult the judges' scorecard. Steve Gray scored it 27-28. John Latham scored it 28-29. And Mark Lyson scored it 27-28. It is a unanimous decision. And our first finalist is Damien Chambers!
So Damien Chambers, a unanimous point decision victor, just 1 point on all 3 scorecards. That first knockdown in the first round proving absolutely crucial. And it's Damien Chambers who goes through to face off against Mikael Lawal in the cruiserweight final. Rashawn Ellington deserves immense credit for the way he came back from the first round knockdown to make that a really competitive encounter indeed. But it's Chambers who progresses.
And big credit to Chambers for staying on his feet in round 2. That was a big difference. There was a couple of times where he was down and looked, and it could have changed the whole complexion of the fight. But maintaining on his feet, staying on his feet, having the wherewithal, ended up getting him the advancement to the final.
Yeah, congratulations to Damien Chambers into the final of Ultimate Boxer 4, but Dave Caldwell, Anthony Crolla, full credit to Rashawn Ellington because he has taken that semi-final to Chambers there.
The second fight of the night, I said I think we may have just seen the fight of the night. Without doubt, that was the fight of the night. Yeah. That was unbelievable. Listen, again, he very easily could have got that, but the knockdown was the difference. And I think for a final, the more energy was with Ellington. But he was still dancing. He's just loving the old experience. He's dancing around, and he's just he's made up to be in a fight. He mentioned about not getting punched in the face. He certainly did there, but he's
what a fight.
What's
Listen,
Lawal going to be thinking?
I can't believe what I was watching. Do you know what I said
Steve
before?
Bunce is saying that's the fight of Ultimate Boxer so far.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3,
it is for me, definitely. Do you know before? I'm talking about this is going to be a thinking man's fight. I think they're both going to think about the boxing a little bit more. That was just absolutely rubbish. What do I know? They just went there swinging. It was fantastic.
We were talking about the jabs, weren't we?
The first round, obviously, Ellington getting floored.
But you know what? How well did he go from getting up from that? Because that was heavy. And his legs, we were saying his legs were gone.
Yeah, they were shaking.
To come through from that, and then to
see out that first round. And then the colossal second round. I mean, the second round was round of Ultimate Boxer, wasn't it?
How did he not go down?
How did Chambers not go down in that second round? I know there was occasional knockdown, but he was through to first round, and that was the difference in him winning that fight and not. Paulie mentioned it in the commentary.
But Dave, he had his chances, Ellington, to finish Chambers in that second round.
What I think cost him? Inexperience.
He was touching gloves.
Touching gloves was crazy.
Touching gloves, but also when he was going, it was still. It was switching, he was bouncing, he was doing a little mini Ali shuffles.
It was one good shot that was needed.
If he just set his legs, feinted, shot a sharp jab and gone for it. There was points where Chambers' arms were down by his side and his chin was there, and if you just set him up and go for it. But it's inexperience, you know, he'll learn from that. And you know, inexperience again, switching's all well and good, and I'm from the school of switching, right? But there's moments when to switch, and that's what cost him. What cost him the knockdown. You know, and just inexperience. But what a fighter! He's got great character. Look at his face. He's enjoyed it. You know, he's been dropped. He's had a tear up. Look at his face now.
And that's the main thing, isn't it? Because he right at the end there, he came over. He was trying to hug Chambers before the third round started. He wasn't having any of that. But he looks like a talent for the future. The youngest guy at Ultimate Boxer 4, 21 years old.
Certainly.
He's a showman, isn't he? You can see all the early shuffles.
He's got a great engine on him. Great engine on him. Like I said, for the final, Lawal now will be much happier. He's got Chambers.
He'll be licking his lips after that.
Oh, gotta be. He's got to be. And it just shows you again, like, after the first fight and even after that second fight, for whoever gets Lawal in the final is going to be happy.
Yeah.
Now I've totally changed my mind.
Dave, do you know what? Paulie summed it up perfectly in commentary, because he said as much energy as they'd saved in their quarterfinals, they doubled it, didn't they, for the semi-finals?
And the problem is, though, for Chambers, is that it was in the semi-final. I think if he was going to pick one where you would have the hardest fight, you would want it in the quarterfinal, the first one. The second one, make it your one-round blowout. He's had it the other way around now, and that was a tough semi-final, and he's not got long to now to recover. So that, you know, that I think that tips
in his
on the Lawal's favour.
Well, let's hear, shall we, from the man who trains Damien Chambers, Matt Hattons with Bunsey.
He's not just with me just yet, because he's just been removing the gloves from Damien's hand. Damien's being inspected, and if you can see here, this is Rashan Ellington. We're in the same change room. They're sharing the changing room, and he's going to go in and he's going to talk to that. And Matt, can I just get you for a second, just for 20 seconds? I've got Matthew here. Matthew, no matter what you prepare for, no matter how smart you think you are as a trainer, once Ultimate Boxer happens, it's just crazy.
Oh, this is why it's such a fantastic tournament, so exciting. And, you know, Damien showed a lot of heart in that fight. Really tricky fight, and now it's all about how much he wants it. And I know he wants it a lot, so...
And the cuts and the damage is okay?
No, the cut's fine. The cut's not going to be an issue. We've got 25 minutes now, and like I say, who wants it most? Let's see.
Was that a harder fight than you expected, or were you expecting things to be hard and difficult like that?
No, I always thought that would be a difficult fight. I think, personally, you know, styles make fights, and I knew it would be quite a difficult fight for Damien. But he come through it. He got a little bit reckless at times, instead of staying cool and picking his shots. But he showed a lot of heart there, and what a great fight for the fans.
And that second round, I've got to tell you, that might just be the greatest round we've had in Ultimate Boxer. I think the fight is arguably the best fight we've ever had in Ultimate Boxer. But that second round, I'm not quite sure how you were watching that through your fingers from under the canvas.
Well, if I had any mate, I'd be ripping it out, you know. I would pick your shots. But like you say, sometimes it's difficult in a cold one like this. And don't forget, first time in front of the TV cameras, in front of a big crowd for these guys. But Damien showed a lot of determination, a lot of heart, and he's going to need that in the final.
A lot of heart, a lot of determination. You've got about 20 minutes left. Get back with him. Thanks very much indeed, Matthew. Great sportsmanship. Two boxers who just fought each other in that stand-up semi-final, shaking hands, cuddling. Oh, Will, I tell you what, Will, we keep on inventing and reinventing what happens here. Just enjoy it.
Mate, we're enjoying it. Dave Caldwell, I mean, isn't that brilliant? Only at Ultimate Boxing, you've got them sharing dressing rooms, battering each other, then going back and giving each other a hug, and probably giving each other's teams advice as well. In the corner there, take us with your trainer hat on. What do you do now in this limited time that you've got? Matt said, 25 minutes. What are you saying? Are you staying calm? In terms of advice, what do you do?
You've got to calm him down. You've got to calm him down. Get him to get that oxygen pumping around his body. I would get a towel around him. Yeah. It's got to keep him nice and warm.
Not go outside like Ellington was doing 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I mean...
You weren't a fan of that one.
I wasn't, you know. But listen, he just performed brilliant, although he did get caught in the first round.
Early on.
That's the thing, you don't want to get caught cold. But, keep him warm, keep him mobile, although he's resting, because it's only 20 minutes. Yeah. do you want to be careful about him just being sat there and just doing nothing and start seizing up?
Take some fluid on board.
Yeah, he needs to be drinking plenty of fluid.
And that's the thing, like we keep reiterating, there is no tried and tested formula to this, is there? Because, you know, even as I guess even you start to question yourself as a trainer, because it's not what you're used to, is it?
It's not at all. It's just, like you say, it's a bit of Russian roulette, you know?
Yeah, it's a gamble. And we just said we saw 2 tough semi-finals, and whoever now comes in, I reckon whoever starts the sharpest in this final will go on to win it.
Do you know what? One thing as well is I think Chambers had it in that first round because he was sharp. His jab was lovely, he was sharp. And then once he dropped him, then you saw him tense up and his son start looking for it and start loading up, and that's where he ended up getting caught, and that's where he ended up burning up a lot of energy. He's got to learn from that, like Lawal did in the first fight, where when he dropped his man, then tensed up and started gunslinging. He's got to learn from that, and they've got to be a little bit cooler in this final. And I think both of them actually will be, because they'll both be shattered.
Again, I think we're going to see both fighters come out trying to box.
Yeah.
Whoever's not having the success will then try and turn it into a tear-up.
So this is what the lineup looks like for the final of Ultimate Boxer 4 here in Greater Manchester. Altrincham, Damien Chambers, the man we've just seen beat Rashaan Ellington in the blue shorts, taking on the grey shorts of the favourite, Mikael Lawal. And there is the knockdown in that first round for Damien Chambers before Ellington came right back into it. He had chances to finish it, but it was given to Chambers, who will take on Lawal for the title of Ultimate Boxer 4. Welcome back to Manchester and to Ultimate Boxer. 8 fighters down to 2, and we have the final coming up shortly between Mikael Lawal and Damian Chambers. But no let up in the action here in Altrincham. He was crowned inaugural Ultimate Boxer in Manchester last year, determined to become the first boxing champion from Northampton, and tonight he's back in action against Lewis Van Pooch. It's UB1 winner Drew Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled over 4 3-minute rounds in the super welterweight division. Introducing first, in the red corner, wearing the red shorts, weighing in at 12 stones and 2 ounces, with a professional record spanning 116 fights, represented Lindley from Gloucestershire, Lewis Van Pooch. Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner, wearing the white and gold shorts. He weighed in at 11 stones, 5 pounds and 12 ounces. He has an undefeated record of 12 fights and 12 wins. Representing Northampton, Drew Brown. The referee in charge of the action is Mr. Darren Sargentson.
Fellas, both got rules, keep it clean, nothing low, watch your heads. When I say break, take a step. Most important thing.
So we're underway then in the super welterweight division. This contest scheduled for 4 3-minute rounds. And the boxer with the impression of the Union Jack flag on the rear of his trunks, and we're starting quickly with sharp, straight shots with Drew Brown. He's the winner of Ultimate Boxer 1. That took place at the Manchester Arena in Manchester.
Very impressive.
In April of last year, and he was very impressive in winning that 3 out of 3 to get that bag and that golden robe.
Yeah, and he wasn't even the favorite going into that tournament, but he really was a revelation in that tournament and looked very well. Looked very good in doing it.
His opponent is Lewis Van Pooch, competing in his 117th contest tonight. You see he's sporting the John L. Sullivan moustache. He's just been put on the end of another straight left jab.
We're going to give him the first round just in a mustache.
But he knows how to survive, does Van Pooch.
But that wouldn't be fair to Brown, as I don't even know if he can grow a mustache yet.
Good work to the body and then bring it into an uppercut and a hook. Van Pooch complaining that the shot was straying around the head. Van Pooch competing in his 18th bout of 2019 tonight. And guys like this are so crucial to the education of young prospects on the rise and to keep the boxing business going.
Yeah, absolutely. And also they know how to not get hurt too. It's not like you look at these guys and you think, oh, they lose a lot, but really they also, when you fight that often, you learn to get very comfortable in the ring and you learn how to protect yourself even if you're not always winning.
Given that we're just beyond the midpoint of this year, he's on pace to surpass his output of last year. Good right hand around the corner landed by Brown, and then working effectively to both body and head. Van Pooch saying, listen, you're straying low, man. Let's keep this within the Marquis of Queensberry rules.
And also you have to keep in mind, when you lose by knockout, you get suspended. So there's no way you can keep a busy schedule. So the fact that Van Pooch has been able to keep a busy schedule shows that he's not getting hurt.
33 times he fought in 2018. And again, in the 105 losses on his ledger, only stopped 10 times, so certainly knows how to survive and navigate his way over the 4 and 6 round distance. He's showing good variety so far. Nice right hand lead to start that flurry from Drew Brown.
Yeah, and what he needs to do here, if you try too hard against a guy like Van Pooch, you're never going to open him up. Van Pooch is, good right hand by Van Pooch. Van Pooch looks to pick his spots. He's not overly busy, so you've got to punch in between him and get him to open up a little bit more so you don't punch on his arms all the time.
So at the end of that first round, let's head down to Steve Bunt, who is with the semi-finalist who lost in that epic second semi-final, Rashawn Ellington.
Thanks, Ronald. It was indeed a classic. You tell me, you got 45 seconds. Tell me about the fight that you just lost.
Hey, I didn't lose no fight, man. I'm telling you. He didn't knock me down. I fell over. I bloody fell over. But that's how it is. I thought I won the fight. I'm still smiling. When he knocked me down, I was still smiling. So, you know how it is.
So just quickly, did you think you did enough to win?
Yeah, of course I did, man. I mean, I should be in that final. Man, I should be having that cash. I'm telling you.
But you've not stopped smiling?
Of course not. You gotta stay happy, win or lose, man. Well, I thought I won. It was a learning curve to me, and he's a very good kid, and I thank him very much for spending the time in the ring with me.
That's it, you're done. That was your 50 seconds. Thanks very much, Rashan. Back to you, Ronald.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So Rashan Ellington still smiling. Called it a learning experience, but was pretty adamant that he thought he did enough to get the decision over Damien Chambers, but it's Damien Chambers who will face off against Mikael Lawal in the Ultimate Boxer final in just a few moments' time. Nice counter right hand starting that flurry from Drew Brown. And after having the glory and the cash that comes with an Ultimate Boxer victory, Drew Brown hasn't been very busy since that time. That was in April of 2018. He's didn't fight again for the rest of last year, just one fight so far in 2019, a points victory over Kevin McCauley. So it's his 12th contest tonight, one of them coming inside the distance so far. But as he's demonstrating here against the educated survivor Louis Van Poach, he picks his punches well.
Yeah, he does, and he's got a good rhythm. He's in front of Van Poach and trying to pick his spots and punch off the rhythm, and that's important. Van Poach not really going to give you a lot of reaction off of all this head movement that Brown is doing. So it's a little bit deceiving because a lot of this, if you're trying to create against Drew Brown, all this head movement will throw you off. But Van Poach is not the kind of guy who's looking to create much. So all the head movement Drew Brown is doing, while it's good, doesn't work against a guy who's looking to survive. But it doesn't mean that it's not good what he's doing, because I like what Drew Brown does. He doesn't just move his head for defense, he moves his head for offense as well, because if you punch off of all this rhythm, it's hard to time the punches coming. Of course, Van Poach is not really looking to time anything. He's still going to cover and shoot.
Just tuck up and fire out the occasional counter. There's Van Poach's modus operandi. So again, for somebody like Drew Brown, an opportunity for him to practice what he's been working in the gym. But again, he's got to remain concentrated and ensure that he doesn't walk into a stray elbow or that the heads clash and cause a cut, which would see him out of the contest, right, and the heads rubbing together on the inside there.
And of course, Van Poach will throw a lively shot here and there, so you don't want to, he keeps you honest.
Good counter right hand by Van Poach.
And that was a lively shot right there. So he does keep you honest here and there, where you can't just get too careless.
Nice uppercut on the inside. Drew Brown from the Far Cotton Boxing Club, the same club he walked through the doors of as a 10-year-old. Chantel Cameron, another one of the famous alum from that Northamptonshire club. So the bell to end round number 2. We're halfway through this 4-round super welterweight contest, but let's hear from the winning semi-finalist of that second semi-final encounter now. Steve Bunce is with Damien Chambers.
Thanks so much indeed, Ronald. Damien, it's a hard night. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good, mate. I'm just ready for this last one now, you know what I mean? We knew the last one was going to be a tough fight, so who's got the most in the tank now, you know what I mean?
Who's got the most in the tank? Because you know this is always going to be a hard tournament. There's no shocks in it. You just know, one thing you always know, it's going to be really hard.
Yes, I mean, this is what we expected, you know what I mean? So this is what we prepared for. So it's who wants it most now.
Who wants it most? Thanks very much, Jambo. Tough business this, Ronald, and this event is the toughest of the sports and the events in our business.
10 seconds, Ronald.
Won't find too many dissenting voices with that assessment, Steve. 3 fights in three 3-round fights in a night against different opposition, warming up, cooling down, recovering from hard physical encounters against fellow cruiserweights. It's challenging indeed. But what an incentive, what a prize that awaits the winner. The prospect of the Golden Robe and the lion's share of a £50,000 prize fund. life-changing money for a lot of the competitors taking place.
Nice combination there by Brown as he got a little creative, doubling up on the right hand and using the second right hand to let him step around and change the angle for the left hook.
Quickening of the tempo to begin this third round by Drew Brown. But again, Van Poach remaining incredibly composed up there. Nothing he hasn't seen before. Made his debut back in November 2012. Again, nice lean back from the waist employed by Van Poach. His counter two-shot combination was wide of the mark. But again, just demonstrating his ring craft and know-how, that he knows how to take care of himself up there in the ring against an undefeated young prospect.
Exactly. You don't get over 100 professional boxing matches on your resume. You don't know how to take care of yourself in there.
Nice shot around the corner from Brown, getting behind the left glove of Van Poach. And that's nice punch picking from the Northampton boxer.
Nice little sharp counter on the back step from Drew Brown. Shows a little bit, shows some of the wrinkles. You know, he's not going to get to show all of the wrinkles against a guy like Van Poach, but he'll definitely have his patience tested. So you have to try to be a little bit creative in order to open up Van Poach, and he's showing that some of that creativity here and there.
Left hand to the body, maybe just a little bit low, but Van Poach didn't complain. Two men remaining in the pocket. Mentioned the fact that Drew Brown walked through the door of his gym when he was 10 years of age, said that even though Northamptonshire is rather lots of nice leafy countryside, but he said the part that he's from was pretty tough and his parents were keen, and he was able to look after himself. Nice right hand from Brown, and a nice left hand from the Northampton boxer. He said, so with them having that desire into the boxing gym, he stepped and he's stuck at it ever since. Nice right uppercut on the inside, and his ambition is to win the Lord Lonsdale belt.
And then Poach takes an uppercut and then looks over at me and nods at me and says, you know what, that wasn't too bad.
Spike O'Sullivan from the middleweight division rocks a similar moustache to that. Being sported by
he may lose
Van Poach tonight.
He may lose every round tonight, but Van Poach gets one complimentary round for the mustache from me.
A handlebar in full effect for the man from Gloucestershire. He's enjoying himself up there in the boxing ring on this stage. Let's listen in to Drew Brown's corner.
He's slowed the pace down. You're listening, you've got to work the angles and you've got to go three-phase. You're fit enough, come on, deep breath. But set everything up off a jab. Set everything off a jab, three-phase. Come on, go through the gears now. Come on, clever. It's the last bell.
So that's Spencer McCracken on the inside of the ropes giving the instructions. John Pegg, the man with the shaven head, on the outside. Eastside Boxing Club in Small Heath, Birmingham is where they operate out of. So into the final round then. And again, it's another quick start by Drew Brown. Facing off against an opponent like this, it's going to be, again, educational for Brown, because not that he's a knockout puncher, just one knockout win in his 11 victories so far, but there's so little reaction from a veteran like Van Poach when you land effective combinations, solid shots, and the man barely blinks and he's right there in front of you.
And also Van Poach will not just give you the openings, he's going to have to force you to create them, and he's not going to get himself out of position because he's scared of the punches. He knows his defensive positioning very well. So you're going to earn any big shots you land or anything you accomplish in a fight against Van Poach. He may not be busy enough to beat you, but he's going to teach you how to properly be patient, yet use the proper punches that you'll need against the upper echelon of the division.
And for people in the business that you and I are working in tonight, Paulie, often speaking to journeymen and survivors like Van Poach, it gives you a terrific insight as to who they feel is going to make it, because they face so many unbeaten prospects who are being matched effectively. If you get their assessment as to who's a good boxer, as to who's a hard puncher, as to who has good timing, well, it really is worth its weight in gold, because they face so many of these young untested guys.
Absolutely. Many times they have an array of knowledge, you know, and people will just assume, looking at their record, that they're you know, if you're a casual boxing fan, you look at a guy's record like this and you'll think he's so bad. But in fact, a guy with a lot of losses, a lot of times, is probably, and a lot of fights, is probably a lot better than a lot of these mid-range, even lower level prospects. Low blow by Drew Brown.
Yeah, a couple of low blows. Just on the belt line, Van Poach has been given some time to recover by the referee.
Little things even Van Poach does. He keeps his high guard, but he also changes levels. He'll give you a low look, he'll give you a high look. Just different things that force you to readjust to the target. Changes range a little bit here and there. Not the busiest guy, but gives you a lot of different defensive looks. He always has his hands up. See, there's that half step, and then he stepped back out. There it is again.
Looking for a right uppercut on the inside, Drew Brown.
Yeah, and what Van Poach is doing when he's giving the half step feint and then dropping back, he's looking for you to lean in. Drew Brown not falling for it, but if the fighter does fall for it when you do that, then he's falling right into your wheelhouse and you can shoot a hard punch.
Good left hand to the body from Van Poach. Van Poach standing his ground and getting onto the front foot for portions of this final round, but he walks into a stiff left jab there from Drew Brown. There's the final belt. Drew Brown, in his second fight of 2019, has undoubtedly extended the unbeaten start to his career, but Van Poach is loving life up there in the boxing ring. Another bout in the books for this veteran of 117 professional contests.
Yeah, and he's enjoying what he's doing.
So, Drew Brown boxed well during the course of that 4-round contest. Lewis Van Poach, another contest in the books, and will no doubt be plying his trade again on the circuit in a small horse show somewhere soon, having survived the 4-round distance. Let's head up to centre ring and get the particulars at the conclusion of this bout, which should see Drew Brown have his hand raised to the victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of non-stop action, we consult the judges' scorecards. Darren Sargentson, our ref and scoring judge, has scored this bout 40-36. To the blue corner, Drew Brown.
Yeah, nice win there for the winner of Ultimate Boxer 1, but what we're really here for tonight is to see who will be crowned Ultimate Boxer 4 champion. These are the guys in the final. Mikael Lawal got there by beating Anthony Woolery in the quarter-final. He then got past David Jamison to make it through to the showpiece here in Altrincham. He will face this man, Damian Chambers, a quarter-final winner against Matt Sinn, who then dispatched Rishan Ellington in a classic semi-final encounter. Here we go then, Manchester, the final of Ultimate Boxer 4. It's Lawal against Chambers, and it's next.
Ladies and gentlemen, our quarter-finals are complete. Our semi-finals are complete. We now have 2 fighters backstage ready to battle it out for a life-changing amount of money and the Catax prize fund in our grand final. So, Whether you're present in the arena or you're watching at home on BT Sport, I need to know who's ready for action! Ladies and gentlemen, sanctioned by the British Board of Boxing Control. Our area reps are Mr. Les Potts, Mr. Robin Smith. Our chief inspector is Mr. Mohammed Asif Ter. Introducing first, to the red corner, Damien Chambers.
Well, Damien Chambers confidently up onto the stage beneath that high-definition image of himself, and what a topsy-turvy route it has been to the final for the man from Manchester, scoring a sensational first-round stoppage over Matt Sinn in just 2 minutes of the first round in what was a shootout, putting the man from Wolverhampton on the floor twice. And then in the second round, he put his opponent Ellington on the floor in the first round, endured a torrid second round before getting back to his boxing behind a languid left jab in the third, and won a unanimous decision by 1 point on all 3 scorecards. He suffered damage around the eyes. Has the intervening period been enough for him to recover his energy tank to the full extent as he prepares to face the final?
Introducing our second finalist into the blue corner, Mikael Lawal.
Well, Mikael Lawal in his quarter and semi-final has put his man on the floor twice, or put each man on the floor. First round, knockdown scored against Anthony Woolery before withstanding a late rally for the man nicknamed the Bull, from the man nicknamed the Bull, and then in his semi-final victory against David Jamison, a beautiful 2-punch combination put the man from East Kilbride on the canvas. He boxed very well in the opening 2 rounds, did Mikael Lawal, and again had to withstand a late rally from the man from Scotland. He was a unanimous point decision winner in the semi-final. He's had longer to recover, has Mikael Lawal, and this the final that many people expected.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your scoring judges at ringside are Steve Gray, John Latham and Darren Sargentson. Your timekeeper at the bell is Phil Morrison, and your referee is Mark Lyson. This Ultimate Boxer 4 grand final is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, in the red corner, wearing the blue shorts, he defeated Matt Sinn in the quarterfinals and Ellington in the semi-finals, Damien Chambers! Across the ring, his opponent stands in the blue corner, wearing the grey shorts. He defeated Anthony Woolery in the quarterfinals and David Jamison in the semi-finals, Mikael Lawal! Mark Lyson is in charge of the action.
Okay, boys, both know the rules. I want you to obey my commands. If I tell you to break clean, defend yourselves at all times, boys. Good luck to you both.
Let's get down to business.
Well, what a final we have in prospect here. There's the tournament favourite, Mikael Lawal, nicknamed Lethal. He's facing off against the demolition man, Damien Chambers. And we are underway. 3 3-minute rounds to determine who is going to take home the golden robe and the lion's share of the £50,000 prize fund. Both men looking to establish their jabs immediately.
Yeah, and both guys are guys that look to fight in a technical with a technical foundation behind jabs, feints, and things like that. But we saw each of these guys, and in one of their fights on the way to the final, wound up in some slugfest. Oh, good hook by Lawal. I think Chambers felt that shot.
Caught through left hand, and Chambers keen to hold on.
And keep in mind, Chambers was hurt really badly in that last fight. So you see the recovery is we'll see how much he's recovered, not just fatigue-wise, but also just from having been rocked in general.
He did incredibly well to remain on his feet. Oh, big shots being thrown by both boxers as they're planting their feet into the canvas and letting big shots go. up jab is an effective double shot from Lawal. Plenty of feints being put out by both boxers. Left-right combination is wide of the mark from Lawal.
And you see that both of these guys have a high level of technique and just trying to set traps for one another. Even in a short fight, you know, you do have time to set the little traps, and both of these guys trying to do just that.
Sparring with the lead left hand, it was Chambers who got through first on that occasion. What a left hand! And Chambers is down and looks as though he is out. Referee Mark Lyson is tolling the count, but has waved it off. A thunderbolt of a left hook from Mikael Lawal has seen him crowned as the Ultimate Boxer 4 champion. And Damian Chambers is being tended to on the canvas. We have to hope that he is okay. All of the medical protocol is being followed by the ringside doctors. Mikael Lawal is absolutely ecstatic at having claimed the Ultimate Boxer 4 championship. He will take home the golden robe. And it was a thunderous left hand that put Damian Chambers on the floor and out of the contest. Mikael Lawal sportingly checking on the well-being of the man he has just conquered. But that was an absolute thunderbolt of a left hand. Good to see that Chambers is up on his feet.
And great to see Lawal right there as well. Great sportsmanship.
Well,
this is why boxing is a great combat sport. You see this more in boxing than any other combat sport. The sportsmanship after fights.
Wonderful to see between these two committed cruiserweights.
And obviously both these guys have a big punching reputation, but again, I don't know if Chambers has ever recovered from being rocked in that last fight. You know, once you've been rocked, you know, and you're fighting even 20 minutes later, I don't know if your brain has recovered fully. And of course, Lawal known as a big puncher, Chambers known as a good puncher. The threat was always there for this to happen.
Well, there's his manager, Amir Ali from Stonebridge Boxing Club. It's John Tiftik putting on the t-shirt. There's the nickname, Lethal Lawal. Mikael Lawal extends his unbeaten record to 12-0 now, scoring his 7th knockout, thanking the boxing gods for the victory he's just earned. A terrific performance from the man who has overcome so much adversity in his life. Saw his mom die in front of his eyes when he was 13 years old. She passed away from low blood pressure. The man who was born in Lagos, raised in London, was sent back to Nigeria. And in the tragic fallout surrounding that devastating event, his relationship deteriorated with his father and his stepfather, and he was actually reduced to begging on the streets of the Nigerian capital, Lagos, before being rescued by the British High Commission and brought back to London. And as I mentioned earlier, I was there the first day, walked through the door at Stonebridge Boxing Club, and what a moment for this undefeated young cruiserweight prospect now. He is the Ultimate Boxer 4 champion, and he has prevailed in this tournament with a devastating first-round knockout.
And a lot of hype behind Lawal going into the tournament, and he was talked about as the favorite, but he had failed to really impress up until the final. But the final really showed you why Lawal was looked at as such a good prospect and a fighter to watch. Not only can he showed a little bit of boxing, setting traps in just the 1 minute we saw him, but then a big puncher, a big knockout to cap off the end of the tournament.
Well, let's head up to our MC and get the decision, which will see Mikael Lawal crowned as the Ultimate Boxer 4 champion.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is no need to check the judges' scorecard on that one. Our referee, Mr. Mark Lyson, stopped the action after 1 minute and 34 seconds of the very first round. The winner, by way of TKO and the Ultimate Boxer 4 champion in the blue corner, Mikael Lawal!
Mikael Lawal, absolutely delighted with the devastating performance he has just produced in the final. He is the Ultimate Boxer 4 champion, and in due course he will be presented with the golden robe. The man who was the tournament favorite has duly made good on that forecast by the odds makers. And And what a devastating display he produced in the final. Damian Chambers, well, he brought it all to the ring, but he has been consigned to his first professional loss tonight after being stopped at a minute 34 of the opening round. But there is the champion. The Ultimate Boxer 4 champion is Mikael Lawal from Stonebridge Boxing Club.
And here to present the Ultimate Boxer 4 winner with the golden robe, Mr. Anthony Crolla. Manchester, make some noise for your champion of Ultimate Boxer 4, Mikael Lawal!
What a wonderful moment for Mikael Lawal. He's made less than, prior to this tournament, he had made less than £1,000 in the boxing ring this year. He had fought only once in 2019. Fights had fallen through, fights hadn't come together. But now, having stayed the course and remained committed to his craft, he had just been crowned as the Ultimate Boxer 4 champion. He has that precious golden robe draped around his shoulders, and he has also got the lion's share of a £50,000 prize fund. Mikael Lawal is the Ultimate Boxer 4 champion.
There we go. Anthony Crolla has joined me again ringside with Dave Caldwell. What a final that was. I mean, we wanted it to go 3 rounds, but what a way to finish it for Mikael Lawal, and what a way to announce yourself on the stage, Dave.
Because the pace was slower, and Chambers was still feeling the effects from the semi-finals, no doubt about that. That's not taking anything away from Mikael. But because the pace was slower, it allowed Mikael to think, and that's what he is.
Yeah, Lawal's not a 3-round fighter.
No, and it allowed him to think, get behind the jab, throw a few feints, and then detonate that shot. When I think, if I remember rightly, Chambers went for a left hook as well. And look, they both went for left hook. Mikael's was sharper, shorter, and more accurate, and he beat him to it.
The right hand was down from Chambers there, wasn't it? When you left up, you both left up.
And you know when you're recovering from that previous fight, you sat backstage, you're absolutely shattered.
That's where the damage was done, without a doubt.
You try and get going again.
Yeah.
You can't recover from that. And you saw him, he wanted to get up. He tried his heart out. Bless him, he tried his heart out. He showed a lot of bottle there, but his body had just given up on the night. It was shattered. And that was a devastating finish from Mikael. And listen, from a personal point of view, I'm pleased for Mikael because I know him. I've seen him at work. I know his team. And I know what it means for him. So I'm happy that I picked him to win, and he won. I finally got one right.
But this, Ant, is what it's all about, and we saw it, didn't we, last time out in London? Grant Dennis, remember, had a really brutal semi-final, and that, didn't help him in the final.
No, of course, and that come back to haunt him in the final. And that's just
saw Damien there. Damien's eyes in that semi-final. You could see, he was struggling against Ellington.
Chambers was out on his feet for a good minute in that second round, and every credit for him hanging in there. But we went on about your previous fights in the final, how they can come back to haunt you, and I think that's even. I looked over to Dave at the start of the fight, and although Chambers was trying to relax, you could see it was the semi-final had left him, and it was a brilliant shot from the Wild, beating to the shot with the left hook, and
that's what makes this tournament so intriguing. It doesn't matter who you favourite. Yes, the favourites won tonight, but he didn't win in a fashion
and he didn't look like it at the start.
No, and that's what makes this tournament, because it's different. It's not your 12-round, 10-round championship boxing. If you wanted to see that kind of fighting and that kind of boxing, don't watch it. Yeah. This is entirely different, and this is what makes this great.
Let me interrupt you because he's standing by our new champion, Mikael Lawal. He's with Layla.
He is indeed. Mikael, a massive smile on your face. Congratulations, new Cruiserweight Ultimate Boxer champion. Walk me through that first round, because so much must have been going through your mind. I'm sure you were still in recovery, essentially.
I was shocked. I thought he was going to get up. I was just I can't even still believe that I won, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. A lot of people were booing me as I came out, but hopefully I've got some fans now. Shout out to my people that come from London. Shout out to SBC. SBC, baby. Shout out to all my fans. Shout out to Team Sauerland for putting me on. It's a lot. It's been a hard journey, man. It's been so hard camp. Just been training on and off. It's just been so hard. Been going through some things as well, but finally it's all paid off. So I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful to my coach for helping me through. Thankful to Ali as well, my manager. Just so many people to thank. Team Sauerland as well, obviously. They're my promoters. They put me on the show. I'm thankful to them too. I'm thankful to the great fans out here in Manchester. I love you, Manchester, man. I love you.
Congratulations. Very well done indeed. Mikael Lawal, your new champion. It's over to Bunsey.
Thanks very much indeed, thanks very much indeed. So he started the fight, he dropped his first opponent. Then he was held to ransom throughout that fight. He barely got through the first fight against an opponent who'd won just one fight. Then he got through the semi-final. And on the other side, Chambo, first round stoppage. Then he gets through his semi-final, they meet in the final. Both of them had stopped both of their men, dropped both of their men in the first round in their quarter-final and their semi-final. But up close in the change room, I saw them before the fight. They were tired, they were exhausted. It was a special ending. He deserves that gold gown. You know what? In September, it'll be UB5. Well, UB4 has set a standard that's going to be hard to match. That'll be good UB5. But I've just got one fault. Just one fault. Will I still be working when it's UB40? See what I did there, Will? Enjoy it.
Oh, mate. The line of the night from Bunsey. Last word to you guys, Dave and to Ant. So good to have you with us here tonight. Dave, I didn't work with you on the last one, but it's frantic, isn't it? It's everything we said that we promised to deliver when we came on air at 8 o'clock.
This is what it's about, This is why I love coming to these events, because they are events. They're exciting, you get drama, you get knockdowns, you get knockouts. That's what we want.
I said at the start of the night, if we have a tournament half as good as the middleweight one, we're in for a good night. It topped it, it blew that out of the water, and I never thought I'd be saying that at the end of the night. Brilliant tournament, worthy winner, and I think Lawal can go on. I think the longer distance will suit him. I think he can go on to have a very good career.
And I think Chambers as well.
Definitely. A lot of the lads there tonight.
There's a lot of them in there. And great credit to every single lad that's gone in there and given it everything tonight.
Give it absolutely.
Obviously they've all seen the losses apart from the wall, but it doesn't matter. That's a great experience, and they're putting a great show tonight for us lot.
Even your Matt said he lost in the first round, but he went out there and he tried putting it on Damien James, and he was happy. He came in and said, you know what, I want in there, give it a go. And listen, it gives the lads like him a platform that they wouldn't normally get, which makes
it sounds cheesy, doesn't it? Journey and life-changing us, but it is £50,000, the lion's share of that. As a trainer how far that can go and what pedestal this can give these guys as well. So good to have you with us tonight. Next time we hope to see you in London, because September the 20th is Ultimate Boxer 5. It's time for the super welterweights. You will have to join us for that one, the 20th of September, live at the Indigo at the O2 London. We've seen Derek Asazi win there last time out, and tonight we have seen Mikael Lawal crowned Ultimate Boxer 4 champion. Will Bunsey be here for Ultimate Boxer 40? We hope so. You guys will be there next time out. We'll see you back in London.